We always surprise the YouTube audience. We never like announce anything or let them know we're going live or anything. But it's all good. You're live, by the way, Josh.
Oh, hey. Welcome to the MatBurn Podcast, episode 23, I think. I'm not actually sure.
I'm still going to be kind of like messing around with settings over here because this is a whole new role for me, you know? Today, behind the scenes, kind of like producer level thing.
Yes. So today is a very special day. We have our first 4-way podcast episode.
Indeed.
We have the future of jiu-jitsu, Ty and Cade Ruotolo.
And just for audience reference, because it took me a while to figure out who's who, I'm Cade. Yep. Ty.
So yeah, get in there and talk. You guys got to talk to the mic. You guys got to get up on the mic.
50-50 shot there still, I think.
I just took my chances there.
Your chances.
I feel like I can't hear you guys now.
Yeah, they got to get up on that mic. Get up on it. Kiss it. So
I can't tell if you just have a really baritone voice or
a Santana.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Better?
I think it's fine.
Just don't talk unless you're up on that mic. So we need to hear both of you guys say something so that we can decipher who's who. So the listeners.
Cade is in the white shirt.
Yes.
Ty is in the
sweater vest.
The camo situation. How do you guys deal with that? Because that's probably like the number one thing you hear all the time. Is like, who's who? Which one's which?
Yeah.
Does it even matter to you anymore? Do you even care?
Matter, honestly. I reply to both Ty, Cade. I just look back regardless. You know.
I see.
Gotten used to it.
I can tell the voices apart.
But you train with them all the time.
I'll close my eyes right now, and one of you guys say something. Go ahead. One of you guys do it.
Hello.
Do it again. Get closer.
I can't.
How was your day today, Josh?
Cade.
No.
Damn it. I thought it was Cade trying to sound like Ty. I thought you were trying to pull a fast one on me. Damn it.
You tried to take the gamble again. So on the last podcast, we talked about the Spider Championship, and we briefly discussed it with you guys a little bit ago, but give us your thoughts on how that went. Like, what were some of your favorite matches?
Let's go. Standout matches first.
Spider was sick.
Getting close.
Matches.
Just pull the mic to you and just own it. Own it for a minute, and then you'll pass it to Cade.
Yeah. Spider was super sick. I really liked was Levi's third match.
Dude, it was good.
Or his second match against
Jonathan.
That one was sick too.
That was the second match.
No. Levi didn't fight John, did he?
Yeah, he beat Jonathan.
No, that was Mateus Gabriel.
Oh.
That was
Mateus Gabriel.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Levi fought Mateus Lutis, I believe. Mateus Lutis, I think. That was a sick match.
It seemed like
Levi looked good, man.
He looked super good, but I thought it was interesting that like Barambola wasn't really working for him, and then he hit that kind of old school sweep.
That's why I was like that match.
I find myself doing that more and more now because people are getting savvier to like tricky guards and kind of figuring out how to shut it down the grips, and then you resort back to old school stuff, and it works really good.
Yeah.
I've especially been having success with like, I kind of changed my style completely. I just come up on single legs from everywhere. Yeah. Like I go to set up lapel guards, and then the people defend it, and it's annoying, and they just kind of sit back. So I just turn it into a wrestling match, you know?
For sure.
Do you feel like, have you guys been training gi much or mostly no gi right now?
I've trained gi like twice in like the last 3 months. Probably.
Really?
Yeah, I don't even. What about you, John?
Same. Yeah, same. I put that gi on once in the past 6 months, and I ripped my fingers to pieces, and I said, fuck this. I don't want to do gi anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it's better to do both year round. Like hit like during no-gi season, maybe 3 to 4 times a week no-gi, and then gi twice a week.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to like switch for me. Maybe you guys probably have like better.
It's hard to switch.
Yeah.
I just prefer training whatever I'm training in, you know? So if I've been training no-gi for a couple months, and like, it's hard for me to go back to gi.
Yeah.
I like it. I get too good at like no-gi, you know? And then I can't like go back to like a gi where I don't feel as good, you know?
I feel like I'm trapped when I'm wearing the gi right now because I had a solid 6 months of just no gi training, but maybe even more. And I put the gi on the other day, and I just felt so trapped, and I hated it. I got mad. I just wanted to rip this fucking thing off me. Same. But at the same time, when I train,
same feeling.
Get in on it. Get on the mic.
I'm in on it.
Kiss it, bro. You got to stop saying that, please. You say it every time. We don't want all the guests to have their lips all over the microphone. Can you pick a different like verb?
Get on it.
How about just like, hey, get 1 inch away from it. hey, just get like a millimeter away, but don't actually touch it with your lips.
You don't like my verbiage?
Yeah. Well, I'm just worried for like sanitary reasons. You tell every guest, and then the new guest is going to be like, so how many mouths have been on this mic? And you want me to put my lips on it?
The reason
as
I'm
well?
not concerned with it is because that's your mic.
I see, but for the guest's sake.
Actually, you're lipping all over my mic right now.
I'm not touching your mic with my lips. I
can
have
literally
exactly
see slobber.
There's a nanometer of space between my lips.
Every time you
and
say sp, I just see a little splue of saliva land on my foamy cover.
Yeah, that's because this isn't the guest mic. It's your mic, and I don't care. But for the guests themselves.
Okay.
All right, enough of that. But Josh, you
Yes,
prefer
sir.
the gi mostly, don't you?
I absolutely prefer the gi, yeah. No,
But, right.
fuck no, I don't. That's just called extreme sarcasm. No, I really like training in the gi.
You literally said to me that you like.
No, I think training in the gi is more fun when I'm in gi mode. Right now I'm in no gi mode. And the gi is not fun. And my fingers are super soft. Like I trained one day in the gi and I just ripped my knuckles to pieces. Like they were throbbing. Because I haven't grabbed a sleeve in months and months.
I think no gi helps your gi a little bit though.
Yeah, but not the other way around as much, do you think?
Probably no. No gi's different.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty hard for. Well, but then it's also like, if someone trains in the gi a lot and then they go to no gi, they'll be fine. But if you're no gi and then you go to gi,
You're fucked.
it doesn't work. But if you train gi and then you train no gi and you get used to it, then the no gi helps your gi game. But it's like you have to have the basis in the gi. So like overall, the scales are tipped towards the gi.
For sure.
Gi improvement.
I agree.
Like for instance, like front headlock stuff. I've been playing around with a lot of front headlock stuff after training at the Danaher's.
Get the fuck out of here.
I swear to God.
Don't be saying that you just became interested in
I did.
headlock stuff.
I did. No, I did because I mean, obviously you have a really good front headlock, Josh, but you never teach me it. You just choke me with it. So I never got to really learn it.
You never
know?
asked me to teach it to you.
I just didn't think you would. I don't know. It's like something you probably were coveting.
Yeah, I'm just going to hide it from you.
But what I'm realizing is like in the gi, front headlock is even better as far as a control, you know?
Sure.
Do you use it in the gi?
I do
Yeah.
all the time off pass. Yeah.
I've been saying this shit for years.
I know,
You
but
guys,
okay,
it's
it's-
like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
It's
right
different
now.
though, because your style of front headlock is unique. It's like very heavy,
That's true.
right? Like he's like threatening submissions the whole time, but I feel like you guys use more
You can use it to pass
like controlling, right?
Yeah, just to get past the legs.
Yeah, because you just get their head and then you're instantly past the legs.
Exactly.
Like a darce.
Get in there, just be aggressive.
Yeah,
Kate.
Don't use that
No, but a
verb.
lot of the times I'll just use like a darce hold just for the pass, like not even for the
Right,
sub.
you did that in your last match, right?
Yeah, like multiple times.
Can I find that on YouTube already?
It's on Flow.
It's on.
I think, I
You
don't know.
can't use it.
They're gonna put down the stream if I do it.
They
Unfortunately,
get mad.
I don't know.
It might be on
If,
YouTube.
it might be on YouTube. There's clips on Instagram too, but yeah, I would just basically like whenever like they were like I see their arm like extended, just basically dive for it, and then not every time I'll get the sub. Sometimes look at their shoulders on the mat,
Right.
But then I'll get the pass off.
but
the
you're
lock.
past the
Yeah,
legs and you
basically
went for it. A lot of people I've been training lately with a lot of people who just go for diving Kimuras and stuff. But I think the diving headlock is very powerful. And I know Josh, you do this already, but this isn't about
Josh
you.
has been doing this.
I know.
I'm just gonna sit here and shut up because
All right.
I'm just gonna hear
It's
you guys
different.
talk.
It's different for them because they do everything, and you're mostly about the front headlock. So like, I want to hear their adaptations to the front headlock game in the gi as well, right?
Well, I feel like I just have longer arms, so there's like more
Yeah.
to get rid of, you know. So like a guillotine, sometimes there's almost like too much space.
Right.
Like darce, I feel like I just get rid of all the space,
Right, right.
you know, because I have these really long,
when you
narrow.
when you jumped on that Darce, you were in half guard.
I was like an open guard, yeah.
He had your ankle, right? Like you jumped on it and he trapped your ankle in his guard.
No, the one from the tournament just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I hit in the tournament, I did from like the stepping on the leg passing.
Yes.
After you had the darts.
Oh yeah, after I had the darce, he tried locking me up and then the half guard, and then it
What was the point system? It was Grapple Fest, right?
was just a 15-minute sub only.
Oh, it was sub only. So it didn't matter that you passed guard.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
No.
So tell me this, guys. How long have you been training now? Since what age?
Since we were 3.
Get it?
3?
Since we were 3, yeah.
13 years.
13 years.
13 years.
How long have you been training, Josh?
Fuck. Do I count my 2-year hiatus or no?
Yeah,
Like,
just like how since you started.
2003, 16 years.
16 years you've been exposed to jiu-jitsu. Wow.
Yeah, 2019.
So I started training seriously like 2006. So I'm at about 13 years too. And that's why I really want to roll with you guys soon, because like I rolled with you guys when you were a lot smaller. Like we even had a 2-on-1 battle one time. Remember?
He does. He tapped his boat.
I had to swiftly take out one with what was it, a heel hook or
Like a
something?
foot lock of some sort.
I went for just a highly illegal heel hook to eradicate one enemy.
When they were 14?
No, they were younger, I think. This
13?
was like a long time ago. They were like super young.
So
But now you guys are like men. You've made it.
They're taller. He's taller. Ty is taller than
Dude,
me.
I walked up to Ty in the car today and his arm was out the window and I was like, what is that arm, dude? It's like growing like 3 sizes. It's like, holy crap.
his hands of mud flaps.
Yeah, it's always the hands that go first, I think.
Way bigger than my hands. Oh my God, you got a whole fucking finger section larger than me.
It's probably annoying for you guys to hear people tripping out over your rapid growth, but it's just how it goes.
Yeah, hopefully I'll feel
Yeah.
into it, you know.
You'll get there.
Yeah, you're still a couple
coming,
kilos
Cade.
behind. Yeah.
You're coming.
Yeah, that just seems like how it goes though. One brother's always just a little bit smaller, but
Yeah.
no less powerful.
Yeah, no, that's
You've still got
maybe not
more
as
heart,
powerful.
more heart even.
Yeah, I like to think more technical then.
Absolutely.
Trying to give myself a little something.
No, I mean it's inevitable, right? If you're bigger as you're improving, you can get away with more,
That's true.
and you got to adapt a little bit more.
very
What's
true.
that?
Is that my volume all the way down?
No, it's right. That's this mic.
Oh, okay.
Relax, bro.
Okay.
They can hear you just fine.
Just making sure you're doing your job.
But it would be so funny if you were muted and the chat didn't say anything. They're
I
just
know.
like, great.
Look at fucking Josh talking to himself like an idiot.
Dude, you make enemies with the internet, dude. You got to
No, it's just that your fans are so upset. They're so
My fans are fans, dude.
Keenan's fans are so cultish that like,
They're cool.
they're just all over Keenan's balls. And like, if you say anything against Keenan, like they'll fucking try.
Yeah, you
to
better watch your mouth.
Yeah.
My fans have my back.
They'll try to fucking kill you.
Got my back, dude. It was funny because when I opened my gym, a lot of those guys, like the Reddit dudes, came to my gym. I got to meet them in
Really?
person. They're like the people who are like, it's like the Freaks and Geeks squad, you know, like the people who are kind of just
the
like more,
regulars.
yeah, the people who are more like internet based. Because like I've always been kind of like a nerd about forum stuff.
No,
like,
you don't say
you
that.
know, yeah, you know how that is.
No, I wouldn't say that.
But you guys like to surf a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Like how much time do you put into each thing, really?
I obviously spend most of my time.
A little closer
I
there.
obviously spend most of my time doing jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
I think it's important to have like something to do aside from jiu-jitsu.
For sure.
Otherwise,
That isn't
I
like
just get so burnt out.
Yeah,
for sure.
And that was going to be my next question is how do you guys deal with burning out? Because you have been doing it so long. And I know I've gone through periods in my 13 years of training where I've just been like, I don't want to do this
For sure.
anymore.
There was times where like I just thought I hated jiu-jitsu, you know, and like
Right.
I know I didn't hate jiu-jitsu. I just I needed something different, you know. And then I think it's important to change things up because if you do the same thing, I trip out on the people who train like just 3 times a day every single day.
Yeah. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't understand.
No.
You can keep that up for like 2 years maybe before. I mean, who knows? I'm sure there are some people that
That's
can.
what I did. For my first 2 years, I trained hard as fuck, and then I burnt out, and I stopped for 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one thing that's
Or 2
important for
years,
you guys, especially like you're so young, you know that you have so much time to do it. Like, why not just take a break?
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
So do you feel pressure though when you get burnt out? Do you still feel pressure to like perform and keep doing jiu-jitsu, or do you feel like you can just kind of like kick back and not really worry about it all?
I mean, I don't really take like super long breaks at a time because I feel like if you just take enough breaks, you know, like enough smaller ones, then
Yeah.
I'm never really burnt out on jiu-jitsu. You know?
Right.
I surf enough, I skate enough, I hang out with my friends enough, like to the point where I'm not upset. It's not everything I do. It's not like my whole life, you know? I mean,
Right.
it's pretty much, it's what I'm going to do when I'm older, and it's what I want to do as like a job and everything, but it's important to have breaks.
I was wondering that when I was driving over here. It's like, what's the long game? Academy?
Jiu-jitsu, eventually in Costa Rica.
Academy in Costa Rica? Is that 100% the plan?
100%. Oh, I'm living in Costa Rica, so whether or not I have an academy there is.
So after you're black belt world champion, or what? Like what's
Sure.
like when like what's the goal? And then
I want to have time to win, to be able to win everything. You know,
ADCC,
well, ADCC,
Black Belt
started,
Worlds.
yeah, for sure, exactly.
I think
all that stuff.
I think in order to like be like solidified as a GOAT, you have to be like the greatest of all time overall. You have to be accomplished nogi and gi.
and both for sure.
You have to be, right?
Absolutely.
Not if you say it loud enough on Instagram.
If you say it enough
If
times.
you say it enough times, people will believe you, right?
But you like for example, Gordon right now is probably like the current GOAT of nogi.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And then of the gi, that's like debatable.
You can't call him the GOAT because GOAT means greatest of all time. And he hasn't even defended that title once. Galvao
know.
defended it 3 times.
Okay.
You cannot say GOAT.
For
you
sure.
can say he's ranked number 1.
But it
Sure,
also,
he is
the,
number
the
one.
term, like the word goat, it takes on a slightly different meaning because people don't really take it as like super.
Greatest of all
I
time.
know, but that's not, when you say it like that, it has a lot more meaning,
And
right?
well, that's what it means. That's what acronyms mean.
Yeah.
Or you could argue it's greatest of a time.
Good point. I would say Gordon is the greatest
So
of
there's,
eight times.
there's eras, right? There's eras. So the Galval era is coming to an end.
So like in that same,
Now the Ruotolo era is beginning.
yeah, like most people, probably one of the things you hear a lot too, I know I heard this a lot, is like everyone telling me they wish they had started younger. Like, oh my God, you guys started so young. Like how awesome, you know? So you basically have everything stacked in your favor for success, right? You have like hyper supportive parents. You've been doing it since you're 3. You're both incredibly talented. Your brothers, the same age and size.
Brothers are always tough.
And so it's like you have you
Always.
have the perfect training partner. I know that was something I always wished I had, as like a clone of myself. So I could,
Bro, you had your sister beating your ass. What did y'all? You didn't need it. You didn't need a brother.
wasn't the same.
You told us about your sister kicking your ass last time. Did you guys hear that episode or no?
no.
Yeah, so on the last episode, Keenan was telling us about how his sister.
I had an older sister who would beat me up.
I'm telling the story.
It's my story,
His,
dude.
his sister used to beat his ass, and this is why he fell in love with jujitsu, because
true.
one time he was able to submit her, and then he realized the power of jujitsu.
But it was because I was around your age and I just like sprouted and then I just beat my sister's ass. No, we had like this epic final showdown where I was like, I knew I could beat her and I just like took her down and like I just neck cranked her so hard and I won, and then she never messed with me again.
You ever see Family Guy when Peter fights that chicken? You guys
No.
you don't know what I'm talking about? No. No. Anyways, some of the listeners,
on.
the listeners know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, so like, how do your games evolve versus each other? So when you guys spar, I feel like you're probably not doing the same techniques that you do against other people because you know each other's game so well. Like, how does that play out?
Well, I think that was like the gi, our rules are so much different in the gi and no gi. You know, they're like like in the gi, because Ty hit like a growth spurt before me, got like a little bit bigger and stronger, and I was like feeling he was like at one point like almost 10 pounds bigger than me, so I kind of felt the weight, so he's heavier.
Yeah.
So then in the gi, I started working way more lapel stuff, and then just throwing him off. And then he started getting used to it, but now I just use it to like keep him at bay, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, like, because he's doing like all he does to me is just step on the leg passing. All he's using.
Let me.
Yeah.
This is how I assume this works. Like, let's say Cade comes up with a new submission, works pretty well. He uses it against Ty, right? And he's like hitting Ty with it maybe 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Ty learns how to defend it, right? And then Cade has to then evolve his submission to the next
Yeah,
step.
exactly.
So,
That's
so
what
he
I'm
has to be on the
saying.
counter strike the defense.
Yep.
Absolutely. So
They
they're
just build on each other.
but they're like that would happens very rapidly between your roles versus your roles with other people, right? And we had that we did that day of the lapel day that we had that one
so
time.
sick, yeah.
And I was meaning to tell you guys, like, shit's changed. There's some new shit that I need to like update you guys on.
Yeah, we got to work
Definitely.
But it comes at a cost. Only one of you can learn. So only Cade can learn. So it's gonna be an
Ty's too
experiment.
big already.
It's gonna be an experiment where I'm only gonna show Cade. Next time we train, I'm gonna show him a couple tricks, and then you gotta like let me know if it worked. You know,
That would be sick.
because I think it would be because you don't play as much lapel, right, Ty?
I actually, when I'm in guard, I do play mostly lapel, but I'm not in guard very often.
Right. Okay.
you prefer to be on top?
Yeah.
Caden, you also?
Way farther.
Yeah.
Yeah. As of recently, for sure.
I feel like that's like the way the game's going too. It's just becoming the technique on top is like
Gi and
more
no gi?
powerful, right? You have gravity on your side.
gravity
You
on your
can't
side.
you can't fight that.
Gi and no gi both prefer to be on top.
Yeah, for sure. Because I do everything I do on bottom, on top anyways. You know,
Yeah.
all the headlock.
Keenan, what about you? Do you prefer top for either one, or you just like
I have more fun passing for sure,
Like
but I feel like
no gi.
I'm more effective from like a point setting pulling guard.
I feel like no gi you prefer top.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. It's like so difficult to play an effective guard no gi, unless you're like, well, there's that kind of new style of guard that Gordon plays, which is like the off balancing with the feet, and then when they come in working the underhooks to the butterfly to the shoulder crunch sumigaeshi into the head snap.
To be honest, I feel like a lot of Gordon's moves are old school,
Right, but it's because
like butterfly guard, overhooks.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he does that sweep all the time.
That's how John teaches though.
The shoulder crunch. Like,
Yeah, it's super effective
this
and
is
good.
all old school
But
jiu-jitsu.
there is some like subtle differences there, like incorporating a lot of judo, like off balances into attacks which I feel like isn't used very much in jiu-jitsu. Like and also like fakes, like going one way and having someone plant their hand. A lot
Adam Varginski did this really well.
It's a kind of a butterfly game that I'm sort of opening my eyes to, because I used to just stay away from half guard and butterfly guard. I just avoided it because like when you're kind of lanky, it's hard to play, right? But as I got a little bit stronger, I feel like I can work those positions more. And so it's cool to see the evolution of jiu-jitsu, and people getting into jiu-jitsu, and the super old school guys, like they don't, the new school guys don't see it, or like people who just got into it don't see it. And the old guys just refuse its existence, I feel like. Yeah. But like our level of guys, we have to kind of adapt when you're in a competitive scene.
100%.
And it's very fun for me to see these changes, because you get to not do the same stuff all the time. Like your A game has to change dynamically.
For sure. Well, that's even when I was training a lot, at AOJ, and I was fighting like all these guys that were doing like a lot of barambolos. You know, you do so many barambolos. Eventually, people learn the defense, and then the barambolo becomes super hard. But I remember because I started at a checkmat school. I stared at 18 or at Clevers, and then
I met a guy from there the other day. He came by the gym and said that you guys would still stop by there sometimes to like warm up for tournaments or something.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, 18.
I haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, I haven't been there in years, but 18 was like where I first started, and I had a really good understanding because they're a checkmat affiliate of like half guard and then all like the Lucas Lech kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember like fighting all these guys. Like I couldn't do anything barambolo thing, but as soon as I put them into like deep half or like anything like Lucas Lech kind of guard, like it completely threw them off. You know.
Yeah.
So I think, like even like mixing it up, like all the new stuff, and then but you still need to know the old stuff because.
And that's why it's so important to have a versatile game. And that's what my main gripe with barambolo guys is, they just like only do that, right? And then when you get out of it, because you guys don't really barambolo as much anymore, right? Would you say that's like more of a, do you still throw it in there often or not as much?
I mean, it's I have it as one of my attacks,
right?
Know, and I'll still, but it's mostly just to get them off balance or just to find something else to do, you know?
It just seems like that hyper focus on the position can kind of hold you back from the evolution of the game that we're seeing.
Sure.
And it's like flip-flopping to like hyper new stuff. And then when people kind of figure out how to slow it down, it goes back to like super old school stuff. Yeah. And I think the only thing that isn't affected by that evolution is front headlock. So that's, you're lucky.
Front headlock is eternal.
It's eternal. Yeah.
It's going to be there forever.
At any additions to it, just maximize its power.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started doing the Anaconda Choke and North-South Choke, because people started defending in, semi-respectable ways. So I had to evolve. And that's when I came up with the transition to North-South and the transition to Anaconda Choke.
Oh, yeah?
Well, because I used to front headlock people and then try to back roll to mount. Like, we get into a tussle and I have their head, but I'm over the top of them, and then I back roll to mount, but they started blocking me. And then that's when I learned how to do the Anaconda Choke.
Amazing.
From that inverted north-south head control position.
Like north-south chokes too?
Yeah, north-south too, yeah.
I can't, I've never finished one of those in my
Well, I used to never, I'll tell you the secret when we get out of here, but there's one little detail that Galval gave me, that because I was never able to finish them either. Never. I thought it was the stupidest choke ever.
What's the secret, bro? Just tell us.
I can't tell you, no.
You can't say the one detail.
This is part of my son.
I've been Julian, I've asked Galval, and he showed me details. I'm like, okay, I swear I'm doing it. Like in sparring, like I'll get there and I swear I'm doing everything right, and I'll just never.
For years, I couldn't finish it. And then I had one detail that changed.
I have a secret detail from there too. I'm just curious if it's the same one.
And now I can finish them anytime.
But look at your biceps, bro. That's the key. You flex that thing.
The last episode you made a reference to my biceps also.
Yeah, I just like to stroke your ego every once in a while, keep you happy. Otherwise you get real grumpy.
I get sad.
Yeah, you get sad over there. No, dude, those things help. Those pythons, bro.
My bite.
Rear naked chokes.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to argue that.
Guillotine. How you think you're finishing those one-arm guillotines, bro? You think that's technique?
It's actually all four. It's actually all forearm. The one-handed guillotine is all forearm based. It's not really. It's not bicep.
Really? Is there like a little bit of like a squeeze action going on there in your hand too?
Of course.
Yeah. Little wrist flare detail.
Yeah. Yep.
But you don't put that out there. That's at your seminar.
Gotta come to the seminar, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, do you guys have a seminar tour or anything?
No, they're going to go to Liera's new academy. I just saw that today.
Yeah, we're going to go up there.
Yeah, they're going to go to Liera's academy in Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Forget the dates, but
it was December 9th to 14th. You're going to be there for the whole week?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to be there for like 5 days, just training.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it like a camp or you're just hanging out?
We're just going to,
and training and
we're just going to be there for like 5 days a week and just crash at his house and train. And
I think I saw Liera posted about it, and he said it's free for his students. I think he's just
oh cool,
just going to pay these guys to show up and train.
I guess anybody can come. Yeah. We're just training.
Do you guys know the address for how do you pronounce it? Logos?
Yeah, Logos.
It's a sick name.
Yeah, I'll find the address.
Yeah, we should tell people about it.
We got to give a shout out to Liera Jr.
He's off. He's spread his wings and
He's out. He flew the nest, and he's in Colorado, and he's in Denver.
Killing it too.
He's in Denver, right?
With the fight to wins.
Yeah, and he just won.
Dude, he's fight to win champion of the world. Dude, he wins every single fight to win.
Did
I see his fight with Jake Watson.
Yeah, I saw it.
Textbook.
Impressive.
They actually offered me that match with Jake Watson.
Really?
Why didn't you do it, dude?
Jake said no.
No way. Is that what happened? Getting called out.
Dang, Jake.
That's not exactly what he said, but Seth explained it to me.
I'm sure he has his reasons.
He didn't say no per se. He just said like, "Serious, bro."
And
Yeah. Is that what he said?
That's even better. That's even better.
and then you guys had that. Well, one of you had the Wagner match.
Yeah,
That was you.
Yeah, he's gnarly.
Yeah. Did he fight? Did he fight kind of dirty? Like that's his signature thing.
He was talking a bunch, you know.
What was he saying?
He wasn't even like talking to me so much. It was mostly just like if K would coach or say something, you know, then he'd
He'd be like, "Nah."
yeah, he'd be like, kid would be like, "Oh, I'll go for like the low ankle pick." He's like, "You want ankle pick me? You want ankle pick me?" Or he'll be like, "Keep going, Ty, you'll break him." He's like, "You're not gonna break me."
That's called counter coaching, and Wagner was counter coaching the counter coach.
Yes, he was.
Like he would, like whenever I'd say something like that would get under his skin too. He would like, I could see it.
Would he look at you like out of the corner of his eye?
Does to Ty, or like, or not to Ty, but what he does to his opponents, you know, like
Yeah.
try and talk and get under the skin. Like I was just coaching Ty, and I saw it was getting under his skin, so I was like almost doing it
So
a
you
little
did it on
bit more.
purpose.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'll see him fighting, and then he would say something. I'm like, dude, Ty, he's done absolutely nothing so far. He's like, I would say stuff like that. He's done nothing so far, Ty.
The counter.
You can easily win this fight right now. You can easily win this fight. He's done absolutely nothing. Just keep this pace going or whatever.
That's so funny.
And then you ended the match with that flying triangle attempt thing, right?
Oh yeah,
Wagner shot, right?
Yeah, he went for a single leg and then he like tilted me back and then I put him in a triangle and then kind of pushed down on my hips and I lost it and then kind of I don't know.
But that was the only submission attempt in the whole match.
Yeah, that was the only.
And that's why you won.
it was kind of a boring fight to be honest. It was like on the just hand fighting for the entire
for
match.
Sure. What happened was
Bro, me and Merlot also. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not about me though. It's not about you. Sorry.
What happened was because he would always throw like that left club really heavy, like that was like his thing. It's like that left club, and he threw it like 2 times in the beginning, and I've been working like that counter off of it, right? Like I do like that shoulder wipe,
shoulder shrug.
Yeah, the shoulder shrug, and then I like. He hit it one time in the beginning, and then I did the shoulder shrug, and I almost foot tripped him, and then like showed like off that club, like I had to good attacks, and then he didn't throw the club like the rest of the match, and then like I didn't have as many like opportunities to come in, and then that's when he said like even in the match he was look Ty's not clubbing you anymore,
Yeah.
you know, and then he didn't say anything to that.
Yeah,
you know?
he did because you do, right? Yeah, that was funny. Like right in the beginning, like if you look at like all of his, we did a lot of studying with Wagner before, and then all of his ADCC matches and stuff. He always sets up his like takedowns and stuff with like a solid left
Massive club.
Yeah, he just does a huge left club and like almost disorients the opponent, and then he like shoots for something. And then, but we were just working that like go for like a club. Just like that shoulder rotation.
Oh,
Yeah, you try to get
You trying to
the
club me, bro?
you made it realistic. Knock his hat off.
No, just like that rotation.
So you try to get the Russian Ty.
And then, yeah, Ty did that. Like, if you look in the beginning of the match, Ty didn't score off it or anything, but like he did that a few times.
It was
and then stopped
effective.
throwing the club. And then that's when I said during the match, like, he's not throwing the club anymore. And then I can tell like that would get under his skin.
That's cool. Do you guys study most of your opponents before you fight them, or just for super fight events mostly?
Not for competitions.
Right, like bracketed
in the
matches.
bracket, you don't know who to study.
Just like if I like a big opponent, you know.
Yeah.
Wagner.
Especially if I don't kind of like know the person, you know, so if, like then for sure I'll study the matches to see what they're about. You know?
Ty, I got a question.
Yeah.
When you were knee barring Paolo Meow, what was going through your mind?
I was wondering if he was gonna tap or
Did
not.
his knee make noises?
Did I had it when I had it straight, and then as soon as I had it straight, I'm like, okay, well this is in.
Did it crunch?
Yeah, and I just prepared myself like this is the biggest moment of my life. You know, like, I'm gonna do everything I can to break it, right?
Yeah.
So at that point, I just thrust it as hard as I possibly could, and I just felt like just everything just like it like exploded. Honestly, I felt like stretching,
His
and I
knee
felt
exploded.
like a pop, and then I just felt it like this. I felt like I never
crunch,
had that
crackle.
feeling before. And I couldn't stop either. That was like the gnarliest thing. Like I've
Yeah.
never had that feeling before. Of like just.
You were all in.
So you would just feel like
you
what?
stop for a second because you feel like
Yeah,
that was
that's-
weird.
Right,
when I
right,
first
right.
did it, I was just
Right.
like, oh my goodness, like I just.
The first time you pop someone's joint, you always kind of hesitate, like, oh shit, like, oh, is this really happening? And then then you think to keep going, and then maybe they escape, maybe
That's
they
what
don't.
happened. It like initially popped, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
I gotta keep going, and then I felt it stretch so much.
My
He's a beast. He doesn't tap.
No, he is a beast. I remember my first time breaking someone's joint. It was Sinistro, brown belt, no-gi pants. Right. And I had that moment where like it popped and I was like, and I hesitated for a second. I was like, oh shit. Like maybe I should let him tap. And then he started pulling the arm out. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. And then I tried to finish it even more. He ended up winning the match by points. Yeah, he was up by 2. That's why he didn't want to tap.
It's crazy.
I guess it was worth it to him to let it go and break his knee for that third, but
he got
to win. So
he got that extra few $1,000s.
You know what though? Like, did anyone see them after ADCC? Like, have they been walking or was he walking around?
He was supposed to compete like the weekend after, but he didn't compete then. And then
he had a knee brace for the no-gi Europeans.
Yeah, he competed in no-gi pans. Or no
Europeans. Yeah. That was when he lost to Gabriel Souza.
Okay.
Right?
Gabriel Souza's good too, man.
That's what's just crazy about them is like it looks like they're broken, but then they fight next month. Right. And it's just like it must not have been.
Do you remember that time that when who was it that knee barred Gary Tonin? He knee barred AJ at Fight to Win. Do you remember that? And AJ was trying to walk around the mat afterwards, and his knee was like collapsing, like backwards. Do you remember that? Did you see that?
Kinda. He also did that to the Meow. Which one? I can't remember. It was Raw or Paulo.
I think it was Paulo.
Gary?
Yeah.
He knee barred Paulo?
Oh yeah, that was at the 5 grappling tournament. Yeah, or the 5 grappling super fight event.
Yeah. I just remember AJ's knee collapsing backwards, like inward.
Like it wasn't working.
Like yeah, his knee was going backwards while he was trying to walk around the mat. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
Knees are scary. I'll always tap to knee bar.
Yeah, I'll tap. Dude. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal anymore. Yeah. There's so many competitions to do. Like, I feel like back in the day, like
just take the L.
Even like 5 to 6 years ago, people were much more likely to not tap to things. It was like almost the culture of competition. It's like you're not supposed to tap. Like just let it break. But not so much anymore.
Fuck that.
Thank God, because that's stupid.
I think it's stupid.
If you're out for 6 months, that's so much earning potential that you're gonna lose out on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or
maybe
just
back in the day because no one made any money doing competition, so they were like, oh,
it's like more serious. Yeah. Damn. People are willing to hurt
like
themselves.
ADCC was the only way you could make money in a competition.
There's not so many more ways to make money now. Like, there's no reason to let things
break.
There's
like random little tournaments paying.
Right.
Like random.
Hey, World Series of Jiu-Jitsu, one of our former sponsors.
Yeah. When you guys go into competition, do you get nervous, or is it kind of just like not a problem? Another day, it's like going to the beach.
I feel like there's always some nerves, right?
Yeah.
I've never met anyone who doesn't have any nerves.
I mean,
I don't know.
I've been doing this for 16 years. I still get nervous. Like you get nervous.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right.
The more time you put into it, the more likely you get nervous because there's higher expectations for your performance.
But don't you have those days where you're like, you go to the tournament and you're just like in the flow state kind of, and it's not the same. It's not like it's not anxious. It's more just like you're hyper aware, maybe like excitement rather than that.
There's definitely a big difference as to like when I know I'm really prepared for a competition and when I'm not.
Yeah.
When I know I'm prepared, then I'm just like, okay.
That's a huge confidence booster.
I preach it all the time, man. Yeah. If you're prepared, you're less likely to be nervous. If you're not prepared, you're going to be scared as fuck.
And even like before the Wagner match, like it was like right after ADCC, and because I had cut so much weight for ADCC, I cut like over 25 pounds. Like it was like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then so after I ate so much, I got so out of shape, you know. and then I had like a reality check like a week before the fight.
How much you ate?
Like it was ridiculous.
Like he had like I've never.
I remember. I saw his face, bro. His face came in here just all swollen. Like
he gains how much weight?
You were like 175, right?
I got to 182.
Oh my God, bro. That's like
145 to 182.
That's 5 pounds less.
What do you weigh right now?
Probably like 165.
So did you have like what's it called, edema, when you just like reabsorb all that?
Yeah, what happened? I literally sat on the couch like multiple days, and I would like eat till I threw up. No, I had a bucket by my bed. Or by my couch.
Just for later.
Dude, that's serious.
This is a real thing.
I can see him just sweating.
My mom is yelling at him like third day in.
Stop eating.
Like, you can't do this anymore, Ty. You're gonna kill yourself. Like he was eating so much food where he literally like just watching Netflix, watch YouTube. He wouldn't leave his bed, and he would puke and eat more food.
Were you hungry?
No.
Why were you doing this?
Honestly, that ADCC cut, I've never had to do anything like that before in my life.
Yeah.
No, it took like a month and a half. I was eating like 400 calories a day. I just have like a little bit of.
That's not good for you, man.
No, it's terrible.
Don't do that anymore.
Because I was already in shape. Like it was so hard to cut 25 pounds. You know.
Well, yeah, and you're not a massive human already.
This
That's
is
like
a problem with ADCC though.
Huge proportion.
That was
of weight.
the gnarliest thing was that after I won my matches on Saturday, I had to weigh in again on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I gained 10 pounds on Saturday. So I got back to the hotel 10 pounds over. It was like 8 o'clock.
Was it tough?
Yeah, I steamed in the steam room with 2 sauna suits on for like an hour.
Double layered.
Yeah, for an hour I had like 2-minute rest. Like it was terrible. And then I had Postmated Epsom salt to the hotel. Took an Epsom salt bath.
Postmates for the win.
Yeah, it was so gnarly.
It's crazy.
Like 2.
You performed so well for being that depleted though.
Yeah.
Did you feel weaker? Did you feel okay?
Yeah, I felt weak, and I had a lot of time to rehydrate, which is nice.
There's a lot of opportunities where you could have finished, like, but you couldn't because you like the darces. Like he got in a couple of deep darces with
match with Kennedy.
and
yeah.
stuff. And he's like I saw the positioning, like coaching. I thought he had him for sure.
I thought so too.
Muscle burnout there probably, huh?
The positioning felt perfect. I just had nothing to give.
What was the weight division above that?
77.
What is that in pounds?
170.
And what do you walk around at 165? You said.
Yeah.
So you would have wanted to cut because people are cutting 20 pounds to make that.
To make 170. Yeah. But
No, because you don't have a choice which division you go into.
Oh, you have to get invited. Oh, right.
Right. They were invited to 66. They had to do it.
for sure.
Did you guys do the trials?
I did. We did both the East Coast and the West Coast, but I made it to the semifinals on the East Coast.
At the same weight though?
Yeah, same weight.
But you made that weight easy.
Way easier.
Right.
I was much smaller at the
Huge
trials.
growth spurt because the trials are like almost a year before the actual competition.
Yeah, the
right?
trials, the second trials was in February, which was like 7 months before.
Right.
And they're literally like in that phase of growing.
You gained 10 pounds in 7 months.
Well, I remember I
month.
even had to like cut weight for the West Coast trials, you know. So by the time the ACC came around, I was way too big. I'm not too big, but I was really big for that division for sure.
I think it's safe to say you're not doing 66 again.
Never again.
There's no way, right?
Probably won't ever do 77.
I'll probably do 88 next ADCC.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
Second round.
Whoa. Wait a second there. You slow your roll.
Dude, I've got some great ways to get guillotined by Josh. I'll show you them. Some really effective entries. Just get in there.
Single legs. Yeah. I remember I would try and shoot on you in class. I just stopped altogether. Because there's no point. Like if you shoot, you get guillotined.
It's annoying, but for me, it was always like, I will get this shot.
Yeah, you just kind of get stubborn.
I will make this one work. And then it's like, fuck, it didn't work.
Josh and Perez, I think, are the two people in the gym where I'm constantly on like the defense.
Like neck defense,
constantly on the alert for something, you know.
That's why Prez and I don't train together, because we're just going to stand and look at each other because neither one of us is going to try to shoot.
Yeah, you guys.
Whose cookie is this? You brought
mine, bro.
You brought this cookie for later.
It's a vegan cookie because No Meat November is over.
Look at this beast, bringing around cookies with you. I thought you were past your sugar phase.
And Monster or Rockstar.
Yeah, is there sugar in that, dude?
Talking about Rockstar.
It's a vegan cookie.
No, in the energy drink.
Of course, this is a regular Rockstar.
Why would you drink? Why would you not drink a Bang?
Yeah, why? That's
Like what?
Why is Rockstar your choice of energy?
Because this is what I like. I like Rockstar.
But the sugar is what's bad about energy drinks mostly.
And Bang doesn't have sugar.
No, it's got the healthiest of all the fake sugars.
Let me tell you what the caffeine content is in here.
Do you guys Bang?
I do Bang.
Yes.
I love Bang.
Do you Bang?
Dude, they're so good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
See, this is only 160 milligrams of caffeine. Bang has 400.
No, it's got 250. Thank you very much.
250 per serving.
In one can. So, no,
Are you
it's
sure?
not. Yes, I know. Trust me, I know that label better than the back of my hand.
This is 160 per can. So
That's okay, but how much sugar?
I don't. It's like a 30,
100?
31 grams. Ain't shit. That's not.
That's half a soda, bro. That's half a Coke.
It's 10% of your daily
Coke has
value.
64.
And I'm not a 2,000 calorie kind of guy. I'm like a 4,000 calorie kind of guy.
Okay, I
So
mean
these percentages are actually irrelevant to me.
sugar is like
irrelevant.
the poison, bro. This vegan cookie, this is not helping you much with that Rockstar. Just like cancel that out and one step forward, 2 steps back.
Well,
dude.
you see, I haven't eaten the cookie. It's just sitting there.
You can leave it for me.
It's for later. It's for later when I have the munchies.
I see.
That's why I brought it here, because I thought we're gonna go out in the bag after.
Whoa. Keep it professional, bro.
There's children around here. Watch it.
Yeah.
Hey, I definitely have something very serious I want to talk about with these guys.
Okay.
Okay, safe sex.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. No.
Oh my God.
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Okay.
All right.
Some solid information.
Okay,
but seriously, what I really get sick of seeing anytime there's a Ruotolo Boys post on Flow Grappling is everyone crying and
I'm
bitching.
so sick of those posts too. They're
Crying and
everywhere.
no, the guys they're crying and bitching in the comment section about how they're not blue belts and they shouldn't be blue belts.
That's an
And
interesting. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I want to ask your thoughts. on what the juvenile blue belt division really represents. It's different than adult blue belt.
Absolutely.
If you're a juvenile blue belt, this is the black belt of kids.
Right.
Right? You don't just get a juvenile blue belt when you start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. You
know
stay
what I
a
mean?
green belt for a long time.
Right.
What was it? Yeah. So how long did you guys have your green belts then? And is there like multiple, like, is there like a stripe through the middle of it?
It is, yeah.
It's all a blur, honestly.
Yeah.
No, I can explain
There's
this.
so many.
I can
I
explain
had like
this.
the green and the green black. I don't think I ever had a green white.
Okay.
It's so confusing. All the stripes they have now and stuff.
It's like this.
100
This goes
belts.
white and then gray. The colors are gray, yellow, orange, green, blue. Every color except the blue and the white has a white stripe and then the solid color and then the black stripe. So there's 3 levels for every kid's belt. It's gray, white, solid gray, gray, black, yellow, white, solid yellow, yellow, black. These guys had green, black up until they're 15. When you turn 15, or is it the year they turn 16? One or the other.
The year you turn 16.
If in the year that you turn 16, the belt has to change to juvenile blue belt. But you're not going to give some random kid that's been training for 1 year a juvenile blue belt. You're just not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
You just keep them at green.
Yeah, or no. I'm like someone who just started training. Like you would just keep them at gray or yellow or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
A juvenile blue belt. Like you guys are not. I mean, I don't want to say you don't.
Okay. First, before we set the context of what you're talking about, what are the people saying?
People think they're sandbagging.
Okay.
Okay, they're not sandbagging because the other competitors in your juvenile blue belt division are also badass.
Yeah, super.
Mario Alvarado, he's
Tough
badass.
kid.
What about
Andrew
that-
Tackett,
What about
he's badass.
the other Galvao kid? Is he
Michael Galvao,
is
he's
he
badass.
your guy's age, or is he younger?
He's.
I think he just turned 16 or something.
Okay.
I think like within a year though.
These
And
are all
you guys are
kids.
16 right now.
Yeah.
And when do you turn 17?
January.
Oh, so soon. Okay. But you stay juvenile, so it's like the same division.
Juvenile too.
Juvenile too. It changes.
Yeah,
So first of all, anyone who's saying that, is there a lot of comments of
that's
people
a
saying
lot,
that?
bro.
Really?
It's the majority.
The thing is, we couldn't even get our purple belts now if we wanted.
Well,
Yeah.
according. So people are complaining that they're competing with black belts, and that there's no reason they should still be competing at blue belt.
Take it up with IBJJF,
and
bro.
IBJJF.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, that frustrates me so much because like I can't even get my black belt till I'm like, what is it? It's like till we're 20 or something.
19,
It's
I think.
19.
19,
Yeah.
But like the way like they make you stay at each belt for like a certain amount of time.
Year and a half.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost like discouraging because
But you can get your purple belt once you're 16, right?
18.
It's 18 now?
18.
It was
Or
16 when I was.
now you can be a juvenile 2 purple belt too.
Okay.
Oh,
But the
okay.
thing is, you won't ever fight. There's hardly
There's no
Right.
one in that division.
none.
You basically have to sacrifice a year competition.
Yeah.
Much.
Well, first of all, anyone who thinks that anyone is sandbagging is insecure about their own jiu-jitsu.
Right.
Like that's basically what it comes down to. If you're worried
Right.
about someone sandbagging, it's like
You want a special division where you don't
Yeah.
have to fight tough guys.
Right.
Right.
really
You want a gold medal, but you don't want to have to fight the best guys.
you don't want to have
Go
to fight
fuck
too
yourself.
hard for it. Well, you got to think about put yourself in their mindset. Like a lot of these guys are fans of the sport, but they don't really get to train as hard as you guys train, right? And then they're gonna feel like there's two camps. The people who are like, wow, I just got my ass kicked by a 16-year-old. That was
That's
awesome.
awesome.
And then there's the guys who are like, I can't believe he's still a blue belt. I'm insecure about my
Right,
blue belt.
right.
I'm a purple belt. But I got
You sandbaggers.
Yeah. One thing, Josh, that I think we both need to learn is that
How to be nicer.
no, just how to not take the internet seriously. Because
yeah.
what people say in comments is rarely their actual opinion, or at least their actual public opinion. Because
Right.
just because it's public, they don't actually believe that. Because if
Right.
they go into a room with any of you and it's the same post and you're like, hey, what do you think about this post? And show them the post. You think they're going to look at them and be like, you guys are sandbaggers.
They get really
right.
comfortable behind their screens. Yeah.
And it's like
Don't take it
as
too
if they can
seriously.
promote themselves. You know what I mean? Like you guys aren't even in control of your belt promotions.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's obviously a
There's
non-issue.
like, oh, Galvao's holding them back just so that they can win. But like, man, the juvenile blue belt division is stacked with tough dudes. Like, it's not like
Really, yeah, there's a lot of good.
you're not just even running through people. Yeah, you're winning.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
But those kids, Kate, get close to the mic, dude. Be part. Come on, get in here.
I keep forgetting. I'm getting cozy.
It's all right. It's all right. That couch is pretty comfortable though.
is.
I got it for like $30 off Facebook Marketplace. I cleaned it up. Don't worry, I cleaned it up real good. But it's a nice couch. I'm proud of that purchase.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
How much was it?
Like $30.
That's a fucking win for sure.
I know that one too. That one you're sitting in was like 45.
Yeah.
And that's a regal chair. That's like a king's chair, bro.
Yeah, I feel like a king.
It is. It's like fit for royalty.
Yeah. So, so yeah, you can get a juvenile purple belt. I did not know this.
Yeah.
Juvenile purple belt, which
I
I'm
could pretty much
hoping
get it
for.
right now. I just wouldn't be able to compete.
There's no one to compete
January.
against,
I just
right?
wouldn't be able to do like no-gi rolls.
Right.
There's no point.
Honestly,
There's literally no point.
I don't even have interest in fighting in the juvenile division anymore. Like after like fighting nogi, just because like I get the opportunity to fight like the best.
Right.
But there are kids in your division that can challenge you still,
Yeah, for sure.
right? Like who's
feel
some
like-
of your toughest competition?
Like nogi, not as much.
Right.
Like nogi, but gi, yeah, for sure. Especially, 'cause I just feel it's harder to fight stronger people gi.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
For me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even like in the gi, like I just can't break grips.
I feel like I can handle you guys better in a gi. I can slow you down, right? And the gi, in no gi, you know how it is. Like I'm just trying to hold you guys, and you're just wiggling and escaping, and I'm having a hard time holding on to you guys.
That's why I like nogi better, is because I can move. I do better nogi with better people.
Yeah.
You know? Like gi, I feel like I get stuck. Just
Yeah.
like, with grips, and then like strength.
Because no-gi strength doesn't really matter as much. In the gi, it matters so much more with grips and stuff.
Do you think
I feel like
speed
they
and
manipulate my
like
body.
what about like speed and quickness?
Yeah,
Is that important, Nogi?
It's
Athleticism.
super important. Athleticism is also like it's super important to be athletic.
Nogi's definitely more physical.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Physical.
But you can kind of move around the strong people more.
Exactly.
Little slithery,
feel like gi and-
slithery
and I-
That's what it is.
snakes.
They're slithery. Yeah.
Your
It's like trying to
jiu-jitsu
hold
is
a
very
fish.
slithery.
Trying to hold a fish in your hand, you know?
Yeah, there's. I think a lot of it is just like
Has to,
it's a lot of reaction and a lot of like counter attacks and stuff like that. I think because him and I, like from such a young age, just fighting each other, like we got really good at like anticipating each other's next move, right? Because we rolled each other every single day for our whole lives. You know, we kind of that's how we got better. I think because there would never be a roll where he would tap me and I wouldn't get him back.
So do you guys ever beef hardcore, like to the point where like you would not let go of a tap?
No, nothing.
Always respect the
Bro,
tap.
yeah.
that'd
Come
be like a
on.
show.
I'm just, brothers are different. Brothers operate on a different set of rules, bro.
I would
Like,
never like hang on to like a joint, like
tap?
arm bar,
but
or
a
heel hook or something.
He said,
like,
but you hear that? He said a joint.
I said it.
So the neck is fair game in
a
a
choke. Like if I was like, had he
You put him out?
really messed up.
How many times have you
I
guys
would
put
hold
each
on to
other
a
out?
choke, you know.
How many times have you guys put each other
I
out?
put him to sleep once. That's it.
He's put me to sleep once.
Once.
You guys, you don't really
Knocked
seem
myself
like.
out too. Jumping guard in a competition.
I've done that too.
I've done that too.
Everyone's done it. Yeah.
I like a concussion though. I like short-term memory loss.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I've seen the movie 50 First Dates.
Dude, that happened to me as well.
Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, Adam
Remember 10
Sandler.
Second Tom?
Yeah.
He was literally 10-second Tom for about an hour. He was laying down. You put him in a stretcher and everything. And you just
Oh my
like,
God.
where am I?
Oh my god.
He was like, I think you're what, probably like 12.
Yeah, I was
Like,
12.
dude, you had a jiu-jitsu competition. 10 seconds later, where am I? Like, you had a jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I
My
couldn't-
ball
Oh,
was
that's so
I
scary.
couldn't
Yeah.
retain any information.
I had a
I'll try to show
cousin.
you the video.
I had a cousin who we were hitting dirt jumps on our BMX bikes, and he just ate shit really hard and fucked himself up like that. And he kept repeating the same question to me as we were driving home, and I thought he was being an idiot. I didn't realize it was an actual. It was like, yeah, that's a concussion.
You like can't retain any information.
Yeah.
I tried to do a flying arm bar, and it was like something that I never had actually practiced. But I was a blue. Same thing for you. I was a blue belt, and I went for a flying arm bar on this wrestler, and he just like did full wrestler base and just dropped to his knees as I did it. So it's like he didn't stay standing like they're supposed to.
Pushed you down.
You're supposed to do the thing so I can do the move. He just like dropped with me, and it was just like a side head impact. It was terrible. Those are brutal, man.
He's always been like, he always like flying submissions and stuff, but I don't mess around with that at all. I hate flying submissions. I think they're stupid, honestly.
Do you guys have any plans for? You guys been homeschooled most of your life, right? Have you ever been to a public school or like a private school?
Since like third grade.
Third grade is when you started homeschooling.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're very active in like the different scenes. Like you're kind of up in the surf scene. You know a lot of people through that. That's like, would you say most of your socialization and like getting out in the world was through surfing?
Yeah, most of like my friends my age are all surfers. Like,
Right.
That's where I grew up. Like Huntington Beach is just kind of like a surf town, and then most of my friends there surf, and then
My dad grew up surfing his whole life too, you know. So
Yeah.
it's kinda,
You guys got that Ruka sponsorship, right? And they sponsor a whole bunch of surfers, right?
yeah, just like a surf.
Ezra, did you guys ever train with Ezra?
Ezra
Sit?
from Hawaii. No, I've never trained with him, but yeah,
He's like a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, right?
yeah, he's a sick surfer.
he's super
jiu-jitsu
good.
combo for sure.
Yeah.
Eli Olson's another one out there. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys. I don't know why.
That's a great outlet, but it's probably hard for you guys to meet kids your age and like hang out with them in the jiu-jitsu setting, right? Because there's just not many people like you. You're
kids
two of a kind.
Are like 20s.
Yeah, you cannot relate. There's no way you guys can relate to a normal kid your age. There's no way.
I mean, I'm sure they can. They're much more mature.
So like I definitely have a lot of friends that like I can't relate with them, but like it's like our point of views on life are just so different, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's like friends who are like zero clue what they're gonna do in life, and
Dude, they're plugged in.
Yeah,
you're unplugged.
It's unplugged. You know, I'm just like
the Matrix.
It's scary to think about like this has no future. You know, like so like it's kind of like bro.
I think it's great that you guys are so young, but you know exactly what it is you want to do with yourselves.
Man, that's the thing about jiu-jitsu is like when it grabs you, it's like, damn, I have purpose. Like I'm clearly good at this.
Right.
Sure. I was made for this. And then you just like go from there, right? It's just, then you can just live your life kind of happy.
That's how I felt when I started wrestling in high school. I was like, this is it. This is what I want.
You got your first front headlock and you were like, what is this power?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
You had like a weird anime moment where your arm was like surging with new force. Those ridiculous vascularities on your arm were
just wait till this.
You're just pounding Coke.
This rock star
just like chugging soda and energy drinks.
Once this rock star gets into my bloodstream, these veins are gonna be like.
Yeah. So I've seen you guys have been lifting lately, but I remember I talked to you a while ago, and then you weren't lifting, but then you started lifting, or at least I saw some videos.
I've lifted like 4 times with Sterner.
Nice.
So far. But you were lifting in your garage.
We're starting to.
Oh, starting now.
Starting to more often.
Just not starting to. Once we move down here fully, it's gonna be a lot easier.
This is terrifying for me.
What?
These guys lifting weights.
Well,
because that's the only way I can beat them right now. It's by overpowering them.
I'm curious to see how you guys develop like that, because I started lifting around the same age, like 16. I started taking like strength training a little more seriously, and you have a much better environment because you have people that actually coach you. I was like still in high school and like trying to figure it out. I was training with like another blue belt at one gym, but it's so important, man, because people hate on strength a lot, but just like flexibility, strength provides you opportunities to do techniques that you otherwise could not.
100%.
That, and which is
you got to squeeze submissions, like.
Right? But even especially from like a passing standpoint, having an extra 10 pounds on a pulling motion makes a huge difference and allows you to do all sorts of different things, and it opens up your game. And I think I see a lot of people talk about jiu-jitsu like, oh, I don't want to lift because I want my technique to be better, but for like, it's literally the most important thing. So some of my best competitive year, I would say, or at least I felt the best, was 2017, like the end of 2017 into early 2018. And I wasn't training as much because I was kind of burnt out, but I wanted to stay competing and like stay active because I mean, I need to, it's my job. So I was trying to find like a happy medium where I could like enjoy the training, but also be successful in competition. And I just lifted 6 days a week and trained 3 times a week. And I got to like 210, and I would just come into the gym like super.
You took that picture, right? Remember that one?
That was earlier. That was 2014.
You had abs.
Those were the days back when I had abs, right? But man, that strength is so nice, and it changes who you are on like a jiu-jitsu spiritual level. Seriously, when you guys get bigger, you're gonna be like, damn.
Well, because technique for you is like never an issue. It was always just a strength thing, right?
Thank you.
I was like, wow, what a compliment.
I feel like that's like
it's true. I used to be a weak little bitch. And now I've sprouted.
Yeah, and I feel like the same thing for me and my brother. Like, growing up, like always fighting like adults, you know, and like being in the adult class as kids, like we'd always have to figure out ways to get around strength because like, you know, can't break grips, you know, we have to figure out how to pass without breaking grips.
Even growing up as kids, like we'd always fight in like higher divisions. Even if there was someone in my division, my mom and dad would always throw me into like the division up just if there was more kids, or, you know, just to have like a challenge, like a competition and have challenge.
Get some more matches.
Like, always been fighting like bigger people, and I feel like that's like what my jiu-jitsu is like adjusted to, is because like I feel like, especially even now, I still feel the problem. Like I don't have enough strength. Like say I'll be in like a smash pass, right, or like a like a leg weave or something,
right.
And like I could, like if I was you, if like one of you guys, I feel like I'd easily finish this. But there's so many times where guys will just lift their leg and just flip.
Right.
So I had to adjust my entire passing and my entire game.
And I think that's literally the perfect scenario, is starting with that foundation and then working up into a stronger human.
For sure.
That's why I've been trying to lift more.
Yeah. Sure. So it's like once you have that base, then you do the lifting later. So I wonder, maybe it is good for beginners to not lift. So they have to like learn how to maneuver around stronger people better.
Well, imagine imagine a really buff white belt that comes in to jiu-jitsu. Does he like really focus on his technique, or does he focus on fucking bench pressing everyone?
It depends, bro. I've seen all manners of white belts from all spectrums now.
And
it's like,
you're probably an expert on white belts.
I'm
right now.
dude. Honestly, it's like my field of study.
You're studying.
Like I have my master. I have my master's in guard and what is it? What is it? Your minor in white belt sociology,
white belt studies,
white belt psychology. Dude, it's actually so entertaining. I rolled with one of my white belts today, and one day you guys will feel this joy as well. But I had a lot of fresh white belts come to my gym when I opened, like the Reddit users, you know, who are maybe just on Reddit learning about jiu-jitsu but hadn't tried it yet. And I had a couple of them come into my gym, and it's like this malleable ball of clay. And it's like, dang, I can actually do stuff with this. Like I can make this person do jiu-jitsu how I want them to do jiu-jitsu.
You're like, I'm going to give you the gift of Kimura. Poof.
Yeah. And so I've been teaching like a lot of fundamental movements. And today the guy did like a perfect, like I went knee cut, and he went under my leg and he bumped me in the butt with my knee and came up on a single leg. And it was like a very proud moment. I was like, damn, you've been training like 3 weeks and you just did a real move. And it was just felt so good.
That's awesome. That's why it's a feeling as an instructor.
Yeah, it was probably, yeah, definitely. Because teaching seminars and stuff, you don't have an attachment to the people.
Yeah.
You don't really get to see your results as much. Like maybe they'll shoot you a message later and be like, hey, it's been working for me. It's like, great, man. I'm like, awesome. Like it always works for everyone. Like that's just how it goes. You know, I wouldn't be teaching these seminars if it wasn't working for you. Like I never get the messages of people being like, hey, your fucking technique didn't work for me.
I want my money back.
But yeah, it was an interesting feeling because you guys probably feel this. It's pretty hard to find new moves for you to learn. Like you've seen almost everything. And when you finally find a new move, it's like a rare gem. And you're like, damn, like look at this new move I found.
They create new moves.
Exactly.
They got the best 50-50 escape I've ever seen.
Really? I haven't seen it.
I know. It's top secret.
Yeah. So
it's autos only.
And that's what it comes down to. And I think that's what kind of drove a lot of the stuff I figured out too, is just like, you're just like, you reach the dead end. If you have like a certain aptitude for just like learning and studying stuff and watching tape and like figuring stuff out, at a certain point, it's just like you run out of stuff. And that's kind of why I stopped watching matches as much as I used to. Is like, you've seen it all, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that when you have a white belt, you get to feel that again, kind of like vicariously. And that's kind of a cool feeling.
You know what's a really cool feeling? Is when one of your old white belt students gets a black belt.
Dang.
That's a cool feeling.
That happened to you?
Twice. Heather Raftery.
Oh yeah.
She was my white belt student.
No way.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Heather Raftery was my white belt student. I taught her for 2.5 years. I gave her blue belt.
Did you give her? Who gave
I gave her blue belt.
Who gave you her black belt?
Andre.
Yeah. That's sick.
Because she went to a Helston Academy. She bounced around from state to state. She was in school and she got a job, and then
she's in Arizona now, or
well, right now she's in San Diego. She's training right here over here.
No
yeah,
way.
She's competing.
She's back.
Yeah. Well, she's just back for Nogi Worlds.
Right, just for Nogi Worlds.
Right.
I haven't even seen her yet.
But yeah, she was my white belt student, man.
That's sick.
And then Nikki Sullivan was in my class. I wouldn't even call her my student, but I was teaching at the university, and she was a blue belt that took my class.
That's where?
In Indiana, at Indiana University.
It's crazy how many people, how small jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah.
It's so small.
Super small, but worldwide.
I feel like it's small to the people who take it really seriously, you know, but there's so many people that take it like super casually too, that they don't follow the scene as much.
There's so many people who do jiu-jitsu who don't give a flying fuck about competitions or competitors.
Yeah. And they just kind of,
They just like to train. They train, they go home. It's just their workout for the evening.
Yeah. Well, another thing that's been kind of weird for me is like, sometimes I feel like I don't want to teach the same move twice. Like at seminars, even like obviously seminars, I teach mostly the same sort of system.
Yeah, me too.
But sometimes you don't want to teach the same thing over and over again because you feel like people have seen it.
Yep.
But then you realize that they haven't, and no one's seen anything, and no one knows anything.
Right. Right.
I've had that even.
You know?
Sure.
Or like repeating it would probably benefit them even more.
Right,
Because there's no way they remember all the nuanced.
Right. The smaller details.
There's no way.
We're very fortunate to have a perspective of like, so being in jiu-jitsu for so long and having the luxury of it being our main thing we do.
I wake up every day and just can't believe that this is my life.
Really? You're thankful?
Every day.
Were you thanking people on Thanksgiving for that?
Yeah.
What did you do for that? You went home to your family, right?
Yeah, family.
How was your guys' Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Pretty solid?
That was the first year that we usually have it at our aunt's house, but she moved away to Texas. So it was the first year we kind of just did it with our family, and then it
with a couple family friends.
You guys kick back in Huntington Beach?
Yeah, we deep fried a turkey.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
nice.
Those come out juicy.
What did you do?
Yeah, yes, they do.
Dude, I had a very, like, I've been so busy, and like, I'm talking about the gym a lot, but I've been so busy in the gym 7 days a week in there, and it's super fun because I get to train at my own pace and exactly how I want to train, and I can like roll with whoever I want. It's honestly the best. Like, setting up your own training is amazing because it's just, you can cater it just to yourself if you want to, and like everyone still benefits from it, and you can train as often as you want or as little as you want. It's super freeing and liberating. However, when you're there all the time, you're like, damn, I need a break.
And you get the fuck out.
And so on Thanksgiving, I just kind of just chilled with my loved ones.
You stayed here?
Yeah, I stayed here. I didn't go home. I'll see my family for Christmas. But speaking of a living and us making a living with jiu-jitsu, and you guys, that is your path, right? At some point, you're going to be providing for yourselves with that. And you probably already are capable of doing it.
Have you seen their awesome truck?
No, that's it. You guys have a truck?
Oh my God.
It's
It's sick.
It's an older one, but yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats.
that's a badass Tacoma.
But I wanted to get your opinion because you are the impressionable youth in some regard, right? So you have a higher perspective and you are around a lot of very good role models. But what do you think about the weird trend of like the shit talk thing and like
The WWE
the
culture.
putting yourself out there in a way that is like abrasive to people and like hubris even?
just to gain attention.
Yeah, it's unnecessary. I think you can do all that without. I think you can do all those things without having a shit talk and all that
Right.
stuff. It's unnecessary.
And I have
I like the Khabib.
Cade, throw on the headset. Try it out.
let's switch it up.
Get to hear your radio voice, bro. Get all close to that microphone. See how sexy you sound.
Oh, I sound way different.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah, you
Oh, sorry, I can't say that anymore. Keenan gets upset about it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch my microphones.
I will not. Definitely not. But what were we saying?
The trash talk culture.
Oh yeah, I don't feel like you need it. I know you could kind of do like or at least what we're trying to do is like more of the Khabib way, just kind of be mellow and patient
Right.
and just wait for your opportunity.
It's not you guys. If you guys started trash talking, I'd just be like, "Who are you? What are you doing?" Stop
Yeah, it's
it.
just not me.
It's not you
know?
guys.
Yeah,
I've never heard
it'd be fake. It'd be completely.
I've never heard you guys say anything negative ever.
especially coming from like a 16-year-old,
Right.
You know, like gosh, probably that does not sound right, you know. But,
Yeah.
my mom's always raised me to be like respectful and to like no matter who.
The martial arts
Dude,
way.
Yeah.
You guys have always been super. Even when you were kids, you were super hyper respectful. Even I remember you guys like little orange belts, and I didn't even really know you guys then yet. And I was watching you guys like have like intellectual debates with the referees. Like they disagreed with the referee decision, and they're just like having like an adult conversation. They're just little kids, you know, having this adult conversation with this referee, and then like shaking his hands afterwards. They're like, "Okay, I understand. Thanks."
Well, that's like a big part of human development is when you're exposed to more adults and you don't spend as much time around kids your age.
Right.
It's a lot easier for you to get into the right mindset and perspective of that because you have to be respectful to adults. And so it just naturally kind of falls into that pattern. What's your plan for next year? What are both your plans for as far as competition and training? Do you have you want to move to Costa Rica? Not next year, but eventually.
not next year.
After they become black belt world champion.
Yeah, multiple times probably. Hopefully before then. You know, I'm not gonna move until I'm like kind of
Until it's done.
Until
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
done, you know. But
It's
next
never
year,
over. That's the thing.
That's the thing. It's never over.
It'll never be enough. It's not possible to be able to pull it off. It'll never be enough. You have to, you know, go ahead though. What are you guys doing next year?
Next year, probably, hopefully just more super fights. I really want to continue with the Nogi super fights and stuff. Cause I feel like if we could just keep winning the super fights that are being presented, then we'll just keep going up and up. And then, so now we're both ranked in the Nogi with Flo too. So I just want to improve my ranking.
What are the rankings?
I think I'm like something in the teens, like 16 or something like that. Just after beating that leg locker with Jeremy.
Who was the? Oh, Grapple Fest was in Germany.
No, it was in the UK.
I was in the UK.
Liverpool.
Who did you compete against?
Jeremy Skinner. I was one of Lachlan Giles.
He's coming out in December. He'd be a good role for you guys, Nogi, probably because he's about your size.
Yep.
Have you trained with him before?
Never. I would love to train with him.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about your leg lock defense, like heel hook? Do you feel
I think that's
comfortable?
what I've grown the most within the last couple of months for sure. That's been like the biggest change in my game.
Do you have mostly like through your own discoveries of being in the position, or
just bits and pieces, just picking things up?
Yeah.
You know, just like since I started learning the leg locks, like when I first started again, like I felt like a white belt. I feel like I really revamped my leg locks. It was after the West Coast trials. I was like, all right, I need to sit down and like learn this.
Did you get leg locked there?
I did. I was when I fought Nikki in the semifinal.
Okay.
And then I was just like, that was like before. Now, just knowing leg locks and like defenses and stuff, I'm way more confident in passing. So like when you don't know when you're not confident in leg locks, it's almost hard to pass a leg lock or guard because you're scared to like close the distance. And that's kind of what happened in that match. I was just kind of like nervous to close the distance, so they don't want to get caught up in the legs, and that's exactly what happened. So now that I've learned defenses and
stepping on the leg was happening.
Exactly, and then now that even just how to prevent the whole position of
leg stepping, bro.
Leg stepping.
Ty, have you had a match with Nikki or no? No, huh? And at the East Coast, did Nikki do East Coast trials?
He didn't do East Coast.
He didn't, huh?
He did the West Coast.
He was injured at the time.
I think he was injured or something like that. Yeah.
That'll be a fun match though to see in the future. So hopefully some people put that one up.
Yeah, he's really good. I'd like to fight him for sure at one point.
Yeah, you guys got to
We're both going to that camp. So Mo's camp.
Oh, okay.
The super camp.
So you'll have a lot of rounds there.
Yeah, I get to train with him there. For sure.
I wonder. He's a little bit older than you guys. I think he just turned 18.
Yeah. I think it's 19, no?
No, I think he just turned, I don't know. Who knows? But that's definitely an interesting match. I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to watch that one. So hopefully that comes up soon. What about you, Ty?
We're about the same size now, too.
Yeah.
Neither of us are 145. Like,
he's kind of stocky and you're like lankier. How tall are you?
Probably almost 5'10".
No, you're taller. You're taller than me, I think.
How tall are you?
5'10".
That's just what he writes down on the driver's license.
Sure. Yeah.
It's 5'8". You ever seen him in a picture with me? Just take a look. Whenever people say their age, I always tell people that I'm shorter. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm only like 6'1", 6'2", and then they take a picture with me and it's like a huge difference. So I always downplay my age for the guys who are like,
your age or your size?
Size. Sorry, my age too. I'm actually 37.
You don't want to be 37, man.
Yeah, you're doing all right. You feeling good?
I'm doing all right.
Damn. Imagine being 20 years older than these guys.
I don't have to imagine. I know. It's reality. It's not imagination. It's a reality.
A lot of experience.
But I've always wondered, like, one of the things, so as long as I've known you guys, I've always thought it'd be really fun to finally train with you guys when you're fully developed at 19, 20. And it happens so fast, like it's like almost there, but that was something I always thought about, like, damn, it would be so cool to train with someone who's literally trained their entire life. And it's like, you're legit competitors, you train hard, you dedicate your life to it, you lift, you do it all. And it's like, that's just like a gift.
Keenan, you're going to have to fight one of these guys in a competition one day.
You think so? No, we're not the same weight.
It's going to happen. Open class. They're not. They love open class. They're gonna be all about. They're gonna be all.
You
over
never know.
Open class.
You never know over the years what.
Hey, if you guys match up with this guy, don't let him talk you into closeout.
Oh yeah, I love closeout.
You gotta fight this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dude,
I think there's a lot of people who I have to let win. There's a lot of people I have to let win first if I meet up with them.
But you could have him. It could be first round.
Professors that I need to.
Don't do that, dude.
Don't do that.
Everyone deserves their fair shot. I never understood that. Like, I understand the importance of seniority. Okay. Like, cool. Okay. But to like hold someone else down so that guy can get a little extra edge further, that's weird.
Yeah.
Right. Like, why? What's the point? It does not help. It only helps the seniors.
Senior, yeah.
Have you guys ever closed out with each other? Or you guys always?
Yeah,
you guys always? You did. But now
it's from younger ages. But we try to distant.
Right,
I've been bigger than him now.
Now it's good that
for like years.
It's good that you're heavier, right? Because then you don't have to face each other.
Exactly.
There's been 2 times where we like actually fought instead of closing.
Hell yeah.
What happened both times?
So here's what happened.
Tell us what happened.
Here's what happened. The first one.
Where was it?
The first one, it was at it was like a grappling industries tournament.
Okay.
It's here in San Diego, I think, right? Here in San Diego, SD.
Pull that mic too. If you're
Was this like
tell the story.
a couple weeks ago?
No, this was this was early this year. Or no?
No, this was like a year ago.
It's like a year ago. Yeah, it's like a year ago.
Okay.
So how did the match go? It was basically super close, like
You
back
can't
and
ask him
forth.
because you have the mic, so you got to tell the story.
It was super close, back and forth, and then you know who the ref was? Miggs from Atos.
Yeah, Miggs.
Yeah, he's the ref. Yeah, he's the ref.
Okay.
And then I should have got points. I'm calling Miggs out, right? I should have got points at the end.
Fucking Miggs.
And I never got my points.
Damn.
And then even Pop's like, all right, you won that 1K. And then we fought again, and he knee barred me. He knee barred me.
Damn.
But like, here's a question though: what if he didn't tap? Would you break it?
No.
There you see, Kate. Why'd you tap, man? Your brother's not gonna break your leg.
It hurt, bro. It still hurts. Yeah. I wasn't sure.
Still apply the force.
I would have stopped when it popped. I'll say that.
Keenan and I got into the situation where he could have cranked on something, and I said, "You're not gonna break it." American Nationals in the gi. Remember, I was in some kind of triangle armbar.
You were like trying to make it so I wanted to fight, and you were trying to set all these stipulations about the fight.
No, I wanted you to repay the
closeout. You're not supposed to submit each other. Like you can't you can't expose each other's games. There's like this whole list. He gave me a contract.
You're so full of shit.
I had to sign it and like sign away my rights to fight.
Fuck out of here.
Dude, it's scary fighting Josh though in competitions because like the guillotine's there and it's like that he's got that secret freaking dagger he pulls out in the middle of the fight, stabs you with it.
I was thinking I've never fought someone before where like Josh is different where like exactly what he wants to do to you.
Yeah.
And he'll do it regardless.
It's hard to it's the headlock, dude.
Like it's almost like frustrating. Like there's times we're rolling no-gi, like I know exactly what he wants. I'm doing everything right. And he does it anyways, It's amazing.
So I made a deal with these guys. I said, like, if I bring you on the podcast, you got to like talk me up about the guillotine. So that's why they're doing this.
Well, the thing about Josh is you have a weird advantage as far as like your teammates hyping up your guillotine, because part of your guillotine success in the training room is you do it so much that everyone's necks are just hurt. Like your neck is just sore. So when he gets you there, it's like you tap because it's like, I can't just keep fighting out of this. My neck will be destroyed. And that was one of the things that healed my neck. I always thought like, oh, I've got a bad neck. Like I must have had some terrible injury. Probably my match with Dean Lister is where it happened. And like 2 years of just constant neck pain. And then I leave Autos and I haven't trained with Josh in like 160 days, even though I invite him every single day to train, but he still won't come. And then my neck was miraculously healed. I was like, at first I was like, damn, like this time, like a little bit of time off, not training as hard, it healed my neck. It feels good. But then I trained with Josh like one time at Studio 540 and then right back to it. Like my neck was hurting the next day. And then I realized that it's more of like a damage over time thing rather than like properly applied execution of the technique. So it's not that good. It's mostly like you just wear us down and wear our discs down until we can no longer fight your.
But it works in comps too.
Well, actually, when I was watching the ADCC replays, and Shanji was commentating one of my matches, and he said actually, mystique is a very important tool that athletes have. Like when someone has a secret weapon that everybody knows about, it kind of fucks up the opponent's mind a little bit. Like you got your lapels. Got your flying darts over here. I got my guillotine. It's something that someone has to constantly worry about in the match. Sure. And this kind of fucks up their game. They're not free to do whatever they want because they have to be aware of this mystical magic technique that they can do to anybody.
That's a huge edge for sure. Cause it's like instantly they're playing at your strengths already. Cause they're
thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be more familiar with people trying to avoid your position than they are with avoiding it 100% of the time. Right.
I'm used to people trying to avoid head control from me.
That's why I'm just a freaking lapel wrestler now, dude.
A lapel wrestler?
Yeah, dude. Dude, you guys are laughing.
Setting up your lapel guard and you stand up with the lapel.
It's like I'm realizing there's so many opportunities where I set up lapel guards and I'm just like, I could like keep struggling for this sweep as they just base and avoid it. But if I just come up right now, they cannot stop it. There's no way they're going to sprawl on it. So 90% of my lapel sweeps, at least in training, is just like, I just turn into a wrestler. I just can switch between like goofy lapel flexible guy into like hardcore American wrestler. And it's been working for me. Like there's some sick setups I'd like to show you guys. Who knows? Maybe Josh will come train tomorrow and he'll be able to teach us some of his north-south secrets. Bro, if you don't want to come,
what time's open?
If you don't want to come to my gym, you need to actually say it.
I know, but I do
on the podcast.
That's why I don't want to say. Why would I? I'm not going to lie.
You're lying, bro. I literally ask you.
Keenan, I actually have a job. I have shit to do.
Oh, you don't have time for jujitsu or your friends?
I don't just. I have
is that
shit
what it
to
is?
do, bro. I have a business to run. Like you have a business to run. I have a business to run. These guys have business
tomorrow,
to run.
Open mat like 12, right?
Yes, 12 o'clock. Yeah,
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock open.
12 o'clock. It's open to everyone, so we probably have a pretty big turnout, which is nice for open mats because you get to roll with a lot of people.
Man, I got I got clients to take care of and stuff. I got stuff to do. Sorry.
Shoot, I'm trying to.
Sorry, man.
I don't believe you. Honestly, I stopped listening when you started making excuses again.
What excuse?
The excuse, bro.
So let's go back to Spider, bro. We never really talked about Spider. What do you guys think about Erbirth and Marigali? Because I think Herberth legitimately faked getting knocked out. If you go watch that replay like 7 times, he gets hit with that knee in the chin and then he goes limp. His head goes on the mat, his arms go limp, and then he like startles himself back to weight 1 second later, and then he starts talking. And I really think he played up like a knockout. Like, oh, I got knocked out. That's why he passed my guard.
Interesting.
And then he woke up like, oh, it's not fair. You knocked me out. I wasn't.
He was doing good with Marigali before.
It was an awesome match. He did a flying omoplata attempt. It was sick.
Really good.
He swept him. Yeah.
Like,
it was a great match.
It was a great match. He looked good against Carlson. You know what it was too? Like off that omoplata, I think he went for like that toe hold.
Yep.
And then Marigali just got his hips back enough to get like north south.
Yep.
I think that's kind of when he got like kneed or whatever, and then like
He got bumped in the chin with the knee.
He didn't want to go anymore.
Keenan didn't watch it. That's why he can't say anything.
I just saw the end because I mean I don't really watch Herberth's matches anymore because I think this is a deeper problem than like a singular match. He's been doing
it's a psychological problem. Everyone knows this.
right, but I feel like I think there might actually be like a real issue that he needs like to see someone about.
Of course.
So I don't want to like.
SJJIF, you mounted him and he tapped, right?
Yeah, I mean,
With Adam Varginski, he was kicking Adam's ass.
I think we need to support Herberth. Is what I'm saying. Like,
I like Herberth a lot.
I would like to see Herberth back to where he was.
Yeah.
So Herberth, if you're listening,
Herberth in his prime,
dude, he was like
He doesn't speak English.
Someone might tell him. You never know. I'm just trying to put that energy out there that like Herberth, I think he's deep down like he's just got some issues he needs to deal with, and when he does, he'll be back to his former glory.
I mean, he's still super young.
I agree. Him at his best, dude. He's one of the scariest guys in.
Dude,
absolutely.
He literally ragdolls like the people who ragdoll people,
right?
Like Ali, like
Bernardo Faria. Oh my god, he ragdolled Bernardo.
Absolutely.
He had. They always say the brightest stars burn out the fastest, and like Herberth literally was that. Like he was so dynamic, like judo, submitting people instantly, like just absolutely ragdolling people that no one had ever really pulled off that level of
beastness.
Yeah, it was just like pure violence, except like Jacare back in the day, it was like literally like Jacare again with like massive judo throws and like incredibly skillful judo as well. And then the ability to just crush a human with your just pure strength.
Is he the strongest guy you've ever rolled with?
Dude, I think I posted something in my story the other day. Someone tagged me in our match where he swept me just by like kicking me over. He just grabbed my ankle and just like kind of kicked me. And I just like go from vertical to flat on my back and my head bounces off the mat in like 0.3 seconds. And it was like, there was no time to react. And even if I could react, like it was too strong to actually do something against. Yeah. But luckily my trusty lapels came and saved me.
He tore Carbolito's ACL from 50-50 by just standing. Like he was just, you know what I mean? He just stood up.
Flexed.
Yeah, he just stood up and flexed his leg and ripped up Carbolito's ACL.
Herberth I rolled with him one time. I was probably
at Atos.
I was young though. I was like 12 or 13.
Right.
Probably like a green belt. And he didn't go easy. He didn't. When he rolled with me, I was scared for like not my life, but
for injury.
I seriously thought I would get injured. It was to the point where I didn't fight back at all.
Right.
If I fought back, he would like.
Yeah, he kind of throws his weight around, huh?
To the point where I just let him do everything. Yeah.
He just threw his weight around a little bit.
Yeah.
I was probably younger too, and I just felt like I was just scared.
I felt two different versions of Herberth. One, he rolled with me. He was super chill. He was just kind of flowing with me. He was being super cool. And then Flow Grappling came to Atos and was filming. And when that camera was on, oh my God, he fucking was moving. His fucking salsa danced on me. Yeah.
You didn't just grab his chin, wrestle him down.
I mean, I don't want to say what I did to him, but
you'll let our imaginations run wild.
Submissions were exchanged.
Oh, how civil of you!
I'm just saying, man, if I can get a hold of the chin, like no one's immune. Like it's the same squeeze for anyone. Like
you can never write Josh off.
I feel immune.
A big guy, a big head with a big neck. It's actually easier to submit them.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just a nice tighter squeeze. It's a tighter hold. Like it's much more difficult for me to submit someone with a smaller head.
Any of these guys has Pena, Marigali. Any of these guys, if you latch onto their head, bro.
Yeah, Marigali has a really, really nicely shaped chin. Actually, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on that. I mean, for real though,
grabbing chins all over the place.
Sometimes I look at the chin. I'm like,
dude, leave people's chins alone, man.
Hey, who did Marigali fight first round? Is Spider?
The Muniz brothers. One of the Muniz brothers. No, that was Rodolfo.
Yeah.
Rodolfo didn't look so hot this time.
He fought Tim Spriggs.
Oh, that's right. But Rodolfo, man, there's no way you can take 5 years off and come back and try to be your old self again. There's no way, bro. No, he did look good, of course. But like a 5-year break or a 4-year break.
I was just like hoping that it was the same Rodolfo that can just like launch people and just pass their guards with that crazy passing he does.
Like,
I feel it's a lot slower.
But he's in his 30s too, right? He's like my age.
No, because he was like, you remember he was the first black belt killer back when he did the Abu Dhabi Pro Trials in like 2009. He was a brown belt, so he got his black belt like 4 years after me. To put that in perspective, JT got his black belt in 2009 as well, and JT's just turned 30. This doesn't help us decipher Rodolfo's age. He's probably like 33 tops.
Oh,
still a young gun.
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought he looked good. That match against one of the Muniz brothers, I can't remember which one it was. Those brothers are sick.
Yeah, those guys are really good.
What they're like the super hardcore lapel players, or they do everything? Because I just saw a bunch of
spider guard, collar sleeve.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of them. How many are there? Because someone keeps tagging me in one of them who just like
three.
There's 3.
Maybe it was just one clip.
Eric Muniz.
I think there's 3.
There's Eric. There's Andres or something.
Anderson. He's the one that was in the tournament.
Yep. And then I didn't know there was a third.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Anderson's the biggest one.
There's just 2.
Oh,
there's 8 of them, bro.
well, I mean, dude, but that one though, he's huge. He was fucking huge.
They're big kids.
The one that was in Spider, yeah, he was huge. And he's a brown belt, right?
Yep. I think.
He had a really good match with Carlsons and another super.
That was the one before. Spider.
Did you guys catch the match with? Obviously you probably did the finals match with Levi and Mateus Gabriel.
Did.
And did you see that moment when Mateus had to take the top position, like after the 3 penalties, and then they were already in like 30 seconds into the double guard pull of their 4th penalty, which is a double DQ, and Levi got underneath Mateus Gabriel's leg, kind of like a single leg X, kind of, but he had his leg up on the shoulder, and the commentators were speaking as if Mateus had taken the top position, but his butt was still on the mat, and it was a very awkward situation where basically Mateus had to take the top position.
Otherwise he get his back taken, right?
Or double DQ. Yeah. It was double DQ. They already had 3 penalties each. And then they both double guard pulled again for the 4th time, right? And so, but as long as you're holding the submission, there's no DQ, right? Because it's once the submission is released, then they can get the penalty. The 4th penalty is the DQ. Mateus Gabriel's butt was still on the mat. It was still a double guard pull. He didn't want it. He didn't want to. But I don't think he could hear the commentators. But he got really confused for a moment, where like he wasn't sure. And then they were talking. The commentators were like, "Oh, good thing he took the top position," but he didn't take the top position yet. And then right at that moment, he picked his butt up off the mat and took the top position. Yeah. And you could very clearly tell it was like, well, obviously Levi can't, because his back was flat on the mat, hips on the mat, and he had Mateus's leg up on him. So Mateus had to take the top position, and he really, really didn't want to, but I think it was like, if he doesn't, it's double DQ. So what do you do?
What happens then?
Yeah, I don't know. What happens with the money?
No one gets.
It was a super awkward situation.
That'd be tragic.
If you go back and look at his face, he's super confused. But he had to do it, and it was, I don't know. It was awkward.
I don't understand why they let it get that close to that point.
Well, $100,000, man. You got to play your A game no matter what, right?
Of course.
True.
Here's
$100,000.
Here's a thought I think you might agree with me with.
Okay.
What about not only like maybe points for the other guy if you like in the competition if you pull guard? So if you pull guard,
are we talking about a new rule set?
Points for your opponent.
Like automatic 2 for the guy who's on top.
Automatic 2 points for the other person.
ADCC is a point after the 5 minutes.
So what happens in situations like that though, where they double guard pull? Anyways, because they just want to be on bottom that bad.
Yeah,
like that's their only option.
Whoever comes up
gets 2 points.
Whoever comes up gets 2
It's like
points.
Jiu-Jitsu World League.
And the other guy.
Is that what happens?
So
This is Jiu-Jitsu World League rules.
So if you pull guard and you both pull guard and one person comes up, would you get 2 points in an advantage?
Just 2 points.
Just 2
No, just 2 points. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really change anything though from like, because so many matches like that are teeter-totter matches anyways. So it's like 2 points for 2 points, 2 points for 2 points. It's whoever's on top last wins those kind of fights. So it doesn't really solve the problem. That's the only thing about
That's why I think just having really good passing is really important.
Yeah, you got to be versatile.
They should have just shot. I mean, like they double card pulled 3 times. Like
That's just how they do it, though. That's
one of them should have shot the
that's
double leg.
the life of a baramboloer, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's too specialized. Like to get really good at it, you have to only do that, and it doesn't really give you time to advance the other areas of your
hard
game.
to watch too for the
Oh yeah,
spectators.
for a finals match for $100,000, it was a garbage match. Like.
Not taking away anything from both.
No, they're
And
both
obviously it's
phenomenal.
the
They're
highest
phenomenal.
level, you know, they're
And
both,
they had really exciting
It's
matches.
definitely an issue with the rules, not the competitors. Like competitors will always just play to the whatever is most effective for them, and if that is a byproduct of the rule set, it's not their fault.
You cannot get mad at a competitor for trying to play their A game when there's $100,000 on the line.
Or ever, honestly. Like
Right.
if it like
This is your
competitions are just as important as money.
For
Like,
professionals,
it doesn't matter.
this is livelihood. So yeah, you need to play your A game.
As a person who has been double DQ'd before, I understand like the mindset.
Who'd you get double DQ'd with?
Follow me out. For $10,000. It was good money.
Brown belt?
Brown belt, yeah. And it's like if you know that this match is serious and you're both are very confident that you're not going to be able to pass each other's guards, it's like a huge disadvantage to come on top. Yeah. And that changed for me over the years because I focused a lot on passing. But it's like, what are you going to do? What is the option really? Except to just make. I think ACB has the right idea. 1 minute of
I loved ACB rules.
doing 1 minute of forced stand up is actually really cool. Yeah. And it creates a funny situation where you're like, you have a guy trying to stall on his feet versus a guy who just clearly knows how to take you down.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like if you saw my match versus Ali, it was like literally comical. I made a highlight of it after because I was just getting noodled around.
Keeping your butt so far back.
Yeah, well, just like everything, it's just like it was so silly to have to do, but it was still cool. Like I think that would be the solution, especially in IBJF matches where it's 10-minute matches. You have 9 minutes to like make up for your shitty stand up,
Yeah.
but at least it like starts it on the feet, and so you will be exposed. You know, there's no safe haven you can go to by just pulling guard effectively.
I really like the idea of 3 periods in a match, like wrestling. ACB did that also.
That sucks, dude.
No,
if you have
because
any
look-
sort of game that requires like grip,
Because look,
acclimation.
first period, you guys both start standing, and whatever happens. So let's say you go 3 minutes. Second period, you're gonna flip a coin, and then whoever wins a coin flip gets to decide top or bottom. And then the third period, it's the opposite, top or bottom.
That's terrible, bro. That's only 3 minutes to set up any legitimate grips.
You can change the time
The
limits.
thing is too, what about like the whole pace thing? Like for me, like when I fight, like I want to put a pace on someone. Like,
Yeah.
For like 15 or 10 minutes straight.
But have you
When there's
seen
breaks
it?
like that? Like I feel like that messes
Have
up.
you seen a wrestling match?
Yeah.
Like the 2 minute, they're 2 minute periods. It's
Right, but
it's
that's
2
be-
minutes of sheer sprint.
But the rules are different, or like the way that they grapple is different because it allows for that scramble. But if jiu-jitsu is rewarded for getting a dominant position and holding, like from a points aspect as well as an ability to win aspect. Like if you can cook someone,
You don't think that's the problem with the jiu-jitsu rule set in terms of spectatorship? Is like there's so much fucking.
first of
holding.
all, who cares about the spectators? They don't
I mean, this is
like if you
ultimately.
can't appreciate good jiu-jitsu, that's your fault as a spectator.
Ultimately, this is how we get paid.
I know, but literally it's more about raising people's awareness, like through like online videos, and
people
like
need to appreciate
They need
it.
to like understand it. You can't dumb down a sport for a dummy who isn't willing to take the time to learn.
And you can't force someone to be interested in something that's boring.
Right, but if they're not
that's
interested,
even- I don't-
who cares?
That's why I think it won't even be in the Olympics.
No, never.
It's too boring to someone who doesn't watch it, understand it.
Cade, you got to get close to the mic if you're gonna talk, bro. I know you're
Cade's
tired.
chilling. Let
I
him
know
do
you're
his
tired.
thing.
I know you're tired.
You can still hear him kind of. He's just in the distance. We can wrap up here in a minute. We've been going for a while.
What time we got?
We're like an hour and a half in.
Serious?
Wow.
Yep.
Time by so fast.
Dude, it always does this.
Always.
It just goes by.
And we spent 45 minutes trying to set up the mics and talking then too. I want to try that cookie, honestly.
I'm pretty sure there was some.
But you guys want to train tomorrow? We should train if you're in town.
Down 12.
Come,
right?
yeah, 12. Like,
I'll head over to Justin.
yeah,
Justin Mask.
Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Justin.
He's the man, dude.
Okay, let me tell you about Justin. Are you talking about Justin Mask?
Yeah.
First of all, I know what you're going to say.
I'm talking about Justin Pierce.
And I'm about to have Justin Mask's back if you say anything.
No, I'm not talking about Justin
All right,
Mask.
all right.
I was thinking about Justin
Just
Pierce.
say, all right. I was about to just like, I was about to throw
Justin
hands.
has really good leg locks.
Oh, Justin Pierce is like, he's going to be a phenom. When he hits black belt and he gets out
starts,
there, yeah,
like, he has been lifting.
yeah.
Gnarly.
He's good, man.
He's advancing.
good. He's
Because I
good.
remember last time I rolled with him, it was like trying to roll with a puddle of slime.
Yeah.
Trying to
It was
pass his guard. Trying to pass
It
his
was like
guard.
an animated slime puddle.
Nobody knows who Justin Pierce is, but I'm throwing that name out there right now. In the no-gi circuit, Justin Pierce is going to make waves.
Dude, he's so flexible.
At
It's
black
crazy.
belt, he's
Literally liquid human.
His techniques are good, man.
He's starting to lift too.
He's lifting.
He's getting stronger.
The only
Strong and
the only reason no one gets to see him is because he has no money. He can't even afford tournament registration.
Dang, someone needs to sponsor that guy.
I
Or help him out.
was going to sponsor him with the podcast.
He doesn't even have a
should.
social media. I don't.
I know.
Doesn't even have an Instagram.
I'm gonna get
Under the radar,
I'm gonna
dude.
get a rash guard made for MatBurn Podcast, and I'm gonna sponsor him.
Dang.
I want to see him fuck shit
Justin
up.
Pierce is amazing.
He did. Remember when he did?
I know he would destroy it.
Do you know the story of how he won Nogi Worlds? Because he did win, right?
Yeah.
You guys know. We don't have to talk about it, but that was awesome. Like that he pulled it off like that. Like that's like the key to his success.
bro? You don't think the listeners want to know?
No, but it's his business. We can't talk about it.
Okay.
But
Honestly, I don't think he would mind, but still.
I know.
He wouldn't
it's,
mind.
It's not our place. But anyways, he's the man. He's super cool, and he's like taking jiu-jitsu more seriously, I think, or maybe he just wasn't able to make it as much because of financial issues.
He's training a lot. It was no-gi season,
live
so he was all pumped up on it. He doesn't love the gi so much.
Oh, really?
He's a no-gi guy.
No, he's one of the hardest guards to pass.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Who do you think is the most like underrated talent that you've trained with? This, like, why is this guy not known as like being a total badass right now?
You're talking about anyone? Like
Anyone?
all
Yeah,
of,
it's
in
like
all of jiu-jitsu?
as you've traveled and trained, any training partners or people?
I had actually a really good one.
I think Nassar.
Oh yeah,
Nassar's
For
like
sure.
Nassar, like without a doubt, is like
Gi or no gi.
gi and no-gi,
both,
just like
yeah, both.
the absolute. Just he's an absolute monster, dude.
Yeah.
And if he was like, dude, if people could see his true power,
Did you see what happened at Fight Twin? The last Fight Twin.
I didn't
was
see,
in?
no.
Yeah. His opponent grabbed the foot lock and just sat on it for pretty much the entire.
Held him there.
Yeah. Just grabbed that collar and just played that guard the whole time.
lame.
Then sorry, got really upset.
Dude, I don't think I've ever met someone where it's like, you know how you roll with people and it's you have that like chess match with them, but then you roll with the other people and it's like it's just the gritty battle to the death where you're like both people are bleeding at the end of it. Nassar, it's both at the same time, and then also he's gonna yell at you at the end.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dude, he's so fun to roll with.
Never roll with Nassar if you're tired. You have to be fresh when you roll.
You got to be ready, and you also have to have your hands up just in case.
You got to watch out for those clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be prepared for anything because it might be a combat jiu-jitsu match. You don't know.
Preparing for Wagner, I tried to fight with Nassar a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially like stand up too. Like I just knew like, and even Josh, I knew like both of those guys.
That's what I'm
were
saying.
just, like, we both had crazy hand fight battles and stuff. We were just slapping each other.
Yeah.
He had the combat.
Dude, he's built for it.
Yeah,
He's literally been training for combat jiu-jitsu his entire
I
life.
actually specifically remember that. Like I was rolling. I can't remember who I was rolling with, but I look over and I just see Cade like loading up like this giant slap.
You know, one goes a little bit low, so you go, okay, you know,
Yeah.
and then it's just. Yeah,
So there's one last thing I want to talk about before we go.
Okay.
Is Senate Bill 64 from Virginia.
Okay. You pre-framed us on this.
Yeah, so it's floating around the internet right now, and a lot of people are like, no, that's bullshit. Like, oh, maybe someone should actually read the legislation, which I did. I have it right here. The actual legislation, which is on the floor for the Senate in the state of Virginia, and it's for. Here we go. A person will be guilty of unlawful paramilitary activity punishable as a class 5 felony if he, and I'm just going to skip all the other bullet points, if he assembles with one or more persons for the purpose of training with some firearms, explosives, blah, 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 or techniques capable of causing injury or death to persons.
That sounds a lot like jiu-jitsu.
That's jujitsu. And I know, I read some comments, and like someone was like, "Well, this is not targeted at jujitsu. It's not targeted at martial arts.
What is it targeted
Doesn't
at?
fucking matter if it's not targeted at these things. The wording exists, and that's going to cause a problem. If someone wants to make a fuss about it, they can use this to.
This sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
Who put this into effect? Like, who supports it?
I'm going to tell you right now because I had to look up which senator put this on the floor because I want to fry them. So hold on, let me get there.
I would move if I would just leave. I mean, it's only in one state, but
Senator L. Louise Lucas,
okay.
Democrat, Senate District 18.
Okay.
If you guys would like to email her, Her email is district18@senate.virginia.gov.
Okay, so I'm all about like
Email this bitch.
first of all,
Bomb out emails, jiu-jitsu people. Bomb out the emails to district.
she doesn't know about jiu-jitsu, bro.
No, she has no idea. This legislation is intended to stop people from protesters who are violently training to like.
Is that
like
happening in the U.S.?
The Antifa people who are going, they're like going and causing
I'm not familiar.
physical altercations. Antifa is the anti-fascist movement.
Okay, and so they can't.
They show up to any kind of Republican rally and they cause a big fuss and they start throwing bottles at people and sometimes they run over people with cars.
That doesn't sound like much training's involved.
Like
Sounds like you're trying to put out a different fire
Shut
here.
down all the jiu-jitsu schools.
the thing is, bro, I took
You ran someone over, they can't practice jiu-jitsu or firearms.
or any martial art, Krav Maga.
Dude, look at what
Taekwondo.
the importance of being able to practice martial arts in all capacities, hand, stick, knife, and gun. Look at what happened in Hong Kong, dude. That government power is trying to take over, and they literally had to defend themselves against police through non-lethal means. What better than like being able to control another human? Like humans have the right to be able to usurp a government that is trying to impeach on their rights, right?
So the other problem with this legislation is it's kind of anti-Second Amendment, right? Because they're saying also in one of the other bullet points is that people cannot gather to train themselves in the usage of firearms.
This is absurd.
Which kind of goes against the First Amendment, right? I mean, not really. Like you can still bear arms, but like why do you want people to bear arms but they can't train themselves how to use them? Doesn't make any fucking sense. So I just wanted to. In the wording it even says, blah 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 blah. Don't use these techniques for causing injury or death to persons. And then comma, intending to employ such training for use in or blah, 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 civil disorder. So it's intended to stop people from creating civil disorder.
Uh-huh.
Like they don't want a bunch of trained protesters showing up and causing civil disorder and choking and each other out and shooting each other and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the wording is fucked up. The way it's worded, it needs to change.
Right.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to, I'm not
But
articulating myself very well.
Jiu-jitsu could you could like disguise it. Imagine if like say in an alternate universe, that law passes all over the United States, all over the world even. And we have to train in secret and we have to pretend that we're doing yoga, but it's like partner yoga.
This is capoeira. This is where capoeira came from.
True. Oh my God, you're right.
Capoeira was like they were training martial arts and they were trying to hide it as
a dance.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu dancing.
So I just want to remind everyone one more time that her name is Senator L. Louise Lucas, Senate District 18, and her email at her phone number. You want her phone number?
Sure.
Her office number is 804-698-7518.
Can you text senators?
I'm sure it's not her direct line, but
that'd be cool.
Anyways, the email
work to call someone.
The email again is district18@senate.virginia.gov. So I would just like to encourage everyone to bomb out emails to this bitch and explain to her what fucking stupid legislation this is.
Apparently, it's the chat is saying that it was a white supremacist group. Antifa is a problem, but it was different.
It doesn't matter. You cannot create a law that forbids people from gathering to train themselves. Yeah, that's what it says.
It says, yeah.
And it is a problem. It doesn't matter what it's intended for. The point is anyone could use the law as it's written to shut down something, anything, a group of people training together. So the wording of, if you look at any Supreme Court case, they're arguing over the meaning of one fucking word in the legislation. Like, what does the word consideration mean? Does it mean this? Does it mean that? And that's how they decide what the intended purpose of the law is.
Ty and Kate, when was the last Supreme Court case you watched? Never. Me neither.
I don't even have TV.
I know. I'm just playing. Yeah. Unfortunate. That's an unfortunate wording, Josh.
Yeah, they need to change it.
Let's change it.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think this is going to pass. Like,
yeah,
it won't fucking pass. And if it does pass, I'm sure the Supreme Court will rule it unconstitutional.
It's okay. Canada will just become the new mecca of jiu-jitsu.
They can't forbid people from owning guns, but they can forbid people from gathering to train themselves how to use the guns.
Is it Virginia, you said?
Yeah, it's Virginia.
Virginia has some good
Well, it's
jiu-jitsu
nuts
too.
because in 2 weeks I'm going to Virginia for a seminar.
Ryan Hall's gym is in Virginia.
I just want to. Hey, I'm also going to Lynchburg's. Hey, all Virginians.
Dude, Ryan Hall's gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall's gonna roll
Is that
up.
where he is?
Yeah, I think so. It's 50-50 jiu-jitsu, right? That's a spot. It's in Alexandria or something, or it's in somewhere in Virginia. There's a lot of good jiu-jitsu in Virginia. A lot of the East Coast's toughest grapplers came out of Virginia.
Well,
actually.
on December 7th, I have a seminar in Lynchburg, Virginia,
Cool.
and on the 8th in New Jersey.
What about you guys? Do you have any events, seminars lined up?
Nothing really. Just we're gonna go out to Logos.
Oh, right.
When is that? The dates.
December 9th to 14th.
Thank you. Yeah, December 9th to 14th.
I read it. Leah posted it and I read it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
So if you guys are, it's in Denver, right?
Denver, Colorado.
Denver,
If you guys are in Denver, I'm getting tired.
Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. Check those guys out. You can meet Cade and Ty. I keep just trying to say your names, and I keep saying Kai and Tade in my head.
Everybody does
People
that.
does that.
Kai and Tade over
Really?
here.
Kai and Tade? I've never made that mistake.
If you ever don't know their names or you can't tell them apart, just say that, because then you'll be kind of right.
Yeah.
Close. You're close.
Or just call me Twin or Tolo.
Hey, twin.
I had a little cousin.
Hey, Tolo twin.
Tolo. Twin.
Tolo.
I had a little cousin that would just call us both names. K-Tai.
Right.
He wasn't sure which one. She'd say K-Tai.
Hey, K-Tai.
Smart.
What up?
The genius of children.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for coming out tonight. This was a lot of fun. And
Hey,
Thanks for having me.
who you guys want to shout out?
oh yeah, sponsors, anything like
Show
that.
you.
Get in there.
Ipono Cafe. Yeah.
Luca Show-
I hate on the spot because I always forget one or two. You know, but,
It's all right.
Luca Show Your Lipono.
Ruka's been Ruka supported you guys for a long time, huh?
Yeah, since we were like 10. So yeah.
Shout out to awesome jiu-jitsu parents.
My parents, yeah, my mom and my dad.
True.
Jiu-jitsu parents.
Your mom's awesome, man. She's a great jiu-jitsu mom. Like she's always hooking everybody up with snacks and stuff.
The best, because
Yeah, for sure.
she's so cool, because she was never, I feel like, I mean, I haven't known you guys for that long, but she was never the annoying jiu-jitsu mom who's
No.
like too into the kids' business and like kind of like pushing those boundaries. You guys are really lucky to have such awesome parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. Even like my little sister, like she.
Oh, Naya, yeah.
And then you notice like she's kind of like hasn't been training as much. Like I think following kind of like in our footsteps, she felt like a lot of pressure or whatever it was.
Right.
She hasn't been training.
She's
as
so
much,
good, dude.
Yeah, and my mom really wanted. She's really good.
She's so
She started
good.
Training. My mom really wanted her to train. She's like,
Yeah.
But it was cool to my mom because she's like now she's like letting her do her own thing. Like she's into like.
Well, bro, now
modeling.
she's a supermodel.
Yeah,
she's in
she's all
these.
about modeling.
She's taking photos for Nike.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Up in LA like a couple times a week working for
She's
Nike
working
and
for
stuff.
like Nike, Crocs, all these
Crocs?
different- Crocs, Nike.
Dude, I'm about to buy some Crocs now. I just was waiting for the right moment to like be able to publicly buy Crocs, and this is it.
Yeah, for sure.
She's such a sweet girl too. Like for such a savage, a Matt Savage, she's so sweet.
She's that.
She's sweet in public.
She's sweet in public. Like back home, she could just be.
Probably because she has two older brothers that used to fucking torture her.
It's the other way around. Like,
Yeah, she
I'm
tortures you
nice
guys.
to her
I could see that.
for no reason.
She's the queen of the house.
Yeah.
Queen of the house.
She's little queen
She
bee.
loves blocking opportunities for me to have any sort of fun. Any sort of fun. She loves blocking.
Kate's having a good time. She's like, nope, I'm gonna stop this.
Like say like my room be like I don't know maybe it's like not that clean. I want to go hang out with my friends. Mom like is your room clean?
She'll rat you
And I'll
out.
be like, oh yeah, it's clean. Like, I'll just like finish it up when I get home. You know, my sister will go in my room and look, and if it's not clean, she'll be like,
Aw, what a
"Mom,
snake."
Like, yeah, she does stuff like that. I'm like,
Tell her snitches get stitches.
I'm like, nah, do you not want a good relationship with your brothers? Like, why are you trying to?
Or better yet, snitches get ditches.
Oh my God.
I got a
She's at that age.
just tell her I got a ditch with your name on it, Naya. Better watch out.
That's terrible. Although I've had to deal with some sisters before.
Yeah, you can relate. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was the one getting threatened, I was nice. I was nice and getting beat up at
The
the same
worst
time.
part is because now she's like old enough to like where when she hits me, like starting to hurt. You know,
Oh,
she's
no.
getting a little bit bigger.
Naya, that hurt
Obviously, I
real
can't touch her
bad.
back. Yeah, and I can't touch her back because I'm 16.
Yeah, right.
And, you know,
right.
it's like so I just
She's
take
10
'em.
now?
Yeah, she's 10. So I'll just take them.
That's funny. But let's wrap this up, guys. Thanks for coming out. We're all going to train tomorrow. Josh is going to be there.
I'm gonna go. In the gi?
Sure you are.
Gi
Dude.
or no
I don't
gi?
believe you. You bring both because we there's a no gi group,
I
a
don't-
gi group, and then there's a judo group. And I kind of just like jump around. Well, that only happened one time, but I'd assume they would come back in the same format. But it was cool. Last Sunday there was like a group of 10th Planet no gi guys, the judo guys, and then the rest were jujitsu. And so you kind of got to pick your poison that day.
Right on. Well, what about our charity shout out? I want to give a charity shout out.
Oh, shout out to Tap Cancer Out.
Tap Cancer Out. And
there's a tournament coming up December 30th, I think.
Yeah.
That's
a weird date to hold.
Or maybe maybe not actually. Maybe it was February. I forgot. In the next 2 months, there's a tournament in San Diego though that they're putting on. Check it out on their website. I was thinking about competing in it. I'm going to do it. We should do it. We should enter the same division. We should fight.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Would be our 5th match.
Yeah, bro.
All right. I'm down.
What's the record between you two?
I beat him once no gi, and he beat me 3 times in the gi.
It's gonna be no gi.
But I think it's important to note, and this is taking nothing away from Josh, but I did let him win the no-gi match.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. We covered this match in episode 1, and you can see the strain on Keenan's face when I was passing his guard. You can see how fucking hard he was working to not let that happen.
I'm a new no-gi fighter, though, dude. If we ever face no-gi again,
we just trained no-gi like 3 weeks ago at 540, and I fucked you up.
I'm gonna.
No, so he fucked me up in the gi.
Lie.
It's fine.
Don't lie, dude. I know Rob. I'll get the security footage. And
the worst thing is I submitted him with my guard, which is just like unheard of.
Oh yeah, you did triangle me.
I triangled you, yeah.
But it was that same thing. Me and Josh do this thing every time that we train, where it's like, Josh, he's this older guy. You know?
My God.
I know he needs like to warm up, and I'm like this young stud, and if I just turn it up, it's gonna be like overwhelming, and he's gonna give up like he always does. So it's like the first minute I kind of like let him get into his zone, and then it's too far, and it's like shit. Now he's got my neck.
The fact of the matter is, we did a couple rounds in the gi first, and then we did no gi. So this is actually completely false.
True, because and then in the gi it was like a disaster for you, et cetera, et cetera. But it's always a pleasure training with you, Josh, and I hope we can do it more often. Yeah. And also, I want to fight you.
I mean, we're not on the same.
Gi.
Fuck it.
I'm ready.
Let's call it Polaris and make it happen. Let's get paid. Can we? Well, he's obviously 7 feet tall and like.
I don't think I would. So I have this issue. My crystals are loose.
Oh,
we talked about
crystals.
Yeah, so you got these crystals in your ears that help you. It's part of your vestibular system, which is the system that controls your equilibrium and balance. And apparently, there's these dangly crystals in your ears, and they can get knocked loose. And if you get hit too hard, they'll like rattle around in your brain and give you like really bad vertigo. And it happened to me, and that's why I stopped training MMA. It only happened one time.
Has loose crystals.
But I always say it now because it could happen again. Who knows? But it's never happened more than once. But that's my excuse for not doing MMA or fighting anyone. It's, bro, my crystals, don't come near.
It's called LCS. It's loose crystal syndrome.
Is that actually the name for it?
Yes.
Loose crystals? So I've actually been using the right terminology.
You have LCS, loose crystal syndrome.
Well, I had it once, but...
Also known as...
Dude, although... Don't say it.
What?
No. Watch your tongue.
No, I didn't say it. I got your back.
You watch it.
Guys.
When these mics turn off, you're not safe anymore, Josh. We'll take this out to the backyard. We'll wrestle out there.
Wrestle.
Yeah, it's a wrestling match, no submission.
You know what I'm shocked is you didn't even give one shameless shout out to your website or your lapel encyclopedia. So I'm just going to go ahead and then drop that bomb out there.
Oh, thanks.
Guys, make sure you check out Keenan's Black Friday sale.
It's extended till Cyber Monday.
Oh, shocker, because nobody ever does that.
You know, it's an interesting dichotomy of like marketing, because it's like you hate it, but it's so effective.
Yeah.
Like if you do not do it, you will not be able to sell your product. So it's such a strange thing, because like even you probably are a victim to some sort of Black Friday marketing. Where did you buy anything?
No,
never mind. I guess not.
I'm waiting for Cyber Monday. I do all my shopping on Amazon.
Oh, really? Yeah. They have Black Friday sales. Yeah.
But I got a question. I got a real question though. I saw Grappler's Guide post something about lapel encyclopedia. So you guys had a collaboration.
Yeah.
What? Tell me about it.
So part of like internet marketing is smart tools to do what's called affiliate marketing, where you give someone an affiliate code.
Yeah. And
they sell your product for you, and then you give them a commission.
Okay.
And that's what Scully does, and he's really good at it. But the little sneaky bastard, it's not over. He's still trying to pull shit on us. He posted it like the night before, so he got like more sales.
Some extra before you posted it.
Before I posted it.
Ooh, very sneaky.
He's a little.
That's like you posting.
I'm coming for you, Jason.
That's like you posting the YouTube version of the episode before I get to post.
Exactly.
The
I get to. Yeah, it's like skimming the top of the milk.
You reaped all the.
But
early episodes.
in jiu-jitsu, and hopefully this changes by the time you guys hit your like mid-20s or so, but you kind of have to like learn that kind of stuff to be able to make money, because really jiu-jitsu, your real skill is your knowledge. Like your specialized knowledge is what is really valuable, because that's the thing that no one else can possess.
The ability to communicate that knowledge.
You don't have to be super knowledgeable to gain notoriety in jiu-jitsu competitions. Like look at Nicky Rod. Like he's only been training a year. If you're just dynamic and aggressive and like, you know, entertaining, that can help you in jiu-jitsu, but it doesn't really make you a lot of money in jiu-jitsu to like actually have a career and like have some sort of, it's through teaching. Yeah. So you kind of have to establish yourself as a teacher. And that's why you guys are probably going to be able to do that very soon. Like, cause I'm sure you guys can teach pretty well. It'd be cool to have you guys have some sort of instructional out there.
Yeah, for sure.
They used to pop in and help me teach the kids class.
Oh yeah.
When they were making that transition, they were too big for the kids class, but they would still show up for the kids class and they would help me teach it.
Yeah, I like teaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teaching is more fun than I thought.
It's
and
rewarding.
It really helps you learn a lot too.
Oh, for sure.
Because it forces you to be like, like what would I wouldn't have learned at this level?
You got to think about why why.
You have to revisit everything.
You got to explain to people why you need to do this, why move your hips, why grab this grip, why
some stuff that comes maybe naturally.
Yeah. So anyways, so if you're on the Grappler's Guide, then I can talk about it now, right?
No, it's not.
Promo code HingerBJJ.
Stop. Stop doing that.
Oh, okay.
Stop doing that.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. We're gonna tune out for now. Everyone in the chat. I know we ignored all of you.
Completely ignored the chat.
But it's still fun. I was reading it still, and just mainly just blocking people that were talking shit about my boy Josh. Don't worry, Josh. I got your back.
Thank you.
I was banning them, and I had my moderators on the task too. So
fucking haters.
Don't worry. I protected you from the online bullying.
That's because they ain't us.
What's that?
They
hate us because they ain't us.
All right. Peace out, guys. I'm going to turn off the stream.